Hello, interweb. Granny here, talking to herself at the moment because she's the only person here. But that's okay. I'll keep talking. I was going to watch some clips. I've been away for a few days, and I thought I'd catch up on a few clips that people have made about our lovely Alan. So let's press some buttons and see what happens. There it is. This one's by Nuff Nuff, and it's called Armchair Detective Patreon Value for Money or One Big Fat Con. I think we know the answer to that. It's on. No, you're not. Okay. When you watch this video, hello, Sunray, how are you? Can someone tell me when you watch this later, tell me in the comments how many times a week he's actually on Patreon? Cheryl, hello. How many nights? Hello, Irish twin. Oh, hang on. Did he just say he's on Patreon or YouTube 7 nights a week? Hang on. I got distracted by something shiny. No, go back. So he's promised to go on Patreon 5 nights a week. Are you getting your money's worth, folks? And he's on YouTube 7 nights a week, he says, except for Thursday nights, which is gambling night, as we all know. You can't hear him? Isn't that good? That's great. Here I am talking to myself 3 or 4 times a week for about 20 minutes. Is that all he's doing? Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, no, Irish twin. Now you've put the frighteners on me. So how do I get him to make a sound? As much as I don't want to. Let's go share. Just going to press some random buttons, okay? Share screen. Yes. Share system audio. That's probably going to do something. Let's try it again. Boom. Boom. All right. Tell me if you can hear this. Can you hear him? Yeah. Can you hear AD now? Lucky you. Hello to the 8 people watching. Really low, no sound. Oh, Alan, what have you done? You see, you can't even get this right, Alan. You're a complete knob. Oh, I could turn him up. Hang on, try this. Let me know about this. We're experimenting. Can't hear the knob. Right, could you hear knobhead? I turned him up. Could you hear the knob? There's a prize. Prize for the first person. Oh, what? Maybe I've got to open the screen again. Oh, here we go. The old lady's going to play with the technology again. Share screen. She's going to share a window. That one. Share. Oh, just very, very low. Let me turn all the sound up. All right. What about now? Oh, someone's going to have to die. This is not good enough. What can I press? I'll just press random stuff, shall I? So I've just unmuted myself, but I don't think that was the problem. Share slides? Nope. Share video file? Nope. Share screen. And then it says, do you want to share your entire screen? No. Do I want to share a window? Or do I want to share a Chrome tab? Let's go entire screen. I don't know what it's going to look like, but you might hear it. All right. Pro tip, be careful sharing screen audio if you have a guest. They will hear themselves. Maybe that's why on sometimes you can hear other people's streams. They can hear an echo. Press all the keys at once and thump it. Give it a good kick. I call that percussion maintenance.
Oh, I've got a special occasion. Which means I'm showing you commitment, right? And you show me.
No, he needs to be committed. Right. Could you hear that? You don't want to listen to me, surely. Could you hear that where he's showing commitment? Yes. It was an okay volume. Oh, let's go. All right. So this is Nuff Nuffs. It's called Armchair Detective Patreon. Value for money or one big fat con? Hey. With the emphasis on fat.
If you join my Patreon, you know I'm going to be there 5 nights a week. I make sure I'm there 5 nights a week minimum. So I don't rip off my patrons by saying, I've got a patron, and then never doing any patrons.
Right. Here she goes. He makes up rules as he goes along, doesn't he? Some weeks he has a mission statement. Some weeks he's just going to stick to the facts. Some weeks he's giving third-hand statements that somebody's accidentally recorded. Yes, sorry, Sid. Somebody's accidentally recorded on purpose from a phone call. He's just, every week he chops and changes what he's doing. So this was when he went through the phase of, I'm definitely going to do Patreon 5 nights a week. You can count on me. But of course, then he's woken up another morning and decided he's not doing that anymore. I've actually started to think that maybe he needs to write down what he's promised to do so he doesn't forget. But then again, he probably couldn't stick to a promise anyway.
But you're paying it monthly, but they're not even appearing in Patreon. They're just taking your donation every month. I go on there 5 nights a week. So I promised I'm on YouTube 7 nights a week. 7 nights a week. Unless I'm ill or I've got a special occasion.
Unless I'm ill or I've got to go gambling or I've got a special occasion. Yeah, different agenda every day. Is this what everyone refers to as him flip-flopping, is it? He's certainly a flip-flopper. That's for sure. So you can see my whole screen now. So what you can see is the chat down this side. This is what you see on ScreenYard, this right-hand side. You see the chat, and then you see a screen with what you can see. It's very confusing when you're old. How can I just get it to look like him? What happens if I press these buttons? Hang on. Ooh! That's good. What if I do this? Now I don't know what you can see. All I can see is buff head. Great big buff head on my screen. I don't like it. It's nightmare material. Oh, well, we're going with buff head. Sorry, everybody. All right. Here's some more buff head for you.
Which means I'm showing you commitment, right? And you show me commitment. Oh, this is why AD has been on longer than most, because I stay in my lane and give you entertainment. I admit, I am a showman and entertainer. You just...
Oh, he thinks he's the greatest showman, doesn't he? Yeah, she says this is pivotal, people. Thus is why, I think she meant this is why AD has been on longer than most. But he says that she says something completely different. Listen to what he says, she says.
No, this is why AD has been on longer than most, because I stay in my lane and give you entertainment. I admit, I am a showman and entertainer.
He really thinks he's a showman. He is so delusional. The one and only scam king. I know. He is, isn't he? Yep, that's my man. Unless he has throat cancer or he's drunk or it's a Thursday night and he's got to go gambling, or someone in his family's having a birthday, or what are some of the other special occasions he's had? He's obsessed. He is obsessed. I don't know. Sometimes I think he's obsessed with the Watts case, and then sometimes I think it's all an act for the money. I can't decide. Maybe it changes from day to day, depending on what personality's in charge when he wakes up, perhaps.
You expect people with no personality not to be successful. Well, there's people that are successful on YouTube with no personality because they talk about the Watts case. And they then think, I'm really good. I'm a really good YouTuber. No, they're not. It's what they talk about. And you always catch them out when they talk about something else.
What?
Yeah, I'm confident. Yeah, because I've been on television. I've done radio. I've done television. I spoke to big crowds. I'm not scared to do that.
He's been on radio. He's been on TV. He's done it all. Let's face it. He's been a member of the royal family. He's done it all. So he's been on TV. Wasn't he an extra? Didn't he play a body on a trolley or something? He's been on TV. He's been on radio. He's been on talk shows. He's a complete delusional knobhead.
And I don't have to talk about the Watts case.
Yes. Let's look at some viewing figures from 4 weeks ago when you weren't doing the Watts case. 912 views. 2.7 views. When he does the Watts, it's up to 6,000. When he does a song, it's down to 600. When he does a Christmas carol, he gets nearly 1,000. Harley Dilly, 878. Yes, he is uploading old videos. Well, he's lost without his girlfriends now. He can't make his own content. Can he? Didn't he stream somebody else's documentary the other night? Is this the one? Oh, that chicken. He loves the fact that it falls off the nest.
Oh, every time I see that little chicken, well up the chicken lady. Cluck, cluck to chicken lady. And never to be forgotten or ever even.
Oh, she's not dead, for God's sake. Is it just me, or has he got dog fur on his T-shirt again? Oh, it's got a little bits of fluff and dog fur all over it. That's revolting. You're revolting.
Yeah, chicken lady. Now, that was hell of a live, guys, whether you like it or not. Well, you do like it because you're my fans, but whether the people out there like it or not, that was a great live, because these documentaries come and go. I'm not even being big-headed. I made it different. I made that documentary much better than it deserved to be.
He improved somebody else's documentary by just appearing. You're funny.
From my own perspective. And I hope a lot of people watch it, because I've made a documentary that's so narratived into all sides.
So narratived into all sides. He really should be teaching English, this man.
You know, like one-dimensional.
Like
I make the story four-dimensional. And people hate me for that.
There are only three.
I demand all sides.
Since when? Oh, since the Ruzek started raising money. You notice that? He started, we must look at all sides of the case now. Up until then, he was very, let's get NK. But now, oh no, he's a master of objectivity now.
Other people demand one side.
What?
How I pity the people that only want one side of a story.
I don't need your pity, you supercilious prick.
That's sort of North Korea. You only get one side of a story. Surely, right-thinking people want all sides of the story. Yeah.
You wouldn't know what a right-thinking person was if it popped up in your porridge, mate. Right-thinking people. Look at him. He's turned into an academic overnight. Cairns fan. I've been watching Dry Bar Comedy Channel. I like Dry Bar. Then I saw you were live. They were no... Oh, please. They're fantastic, those people. Blowing his own trumpet. Yeah, I know, isn't he? I made that documentary way better than it was. It was doomed to failure until I showed my face. He really is a comedian. He's an idiot. Yeah, he's like a clown, isn't he? We all laugh at him. Yeah. Yeah, where's your documentary, mate?
And that's what I'm going to do. This little brief, I've been thinking a lot last few days.
He's been thinking.
I'm right.
He's really been outside the box. He's been thinking the last few days. Good for you, Alan.
In what I do. I am doing something very useful to this case. I don't do drama. I don't lie about people.
I beg your pardon?
I look at the case.
I beg your pardon? How can he do that? How can he tell a lie about somebody for 2 years and say things like they killed the children with their bare hands and then face up the next day and look everybody in the eye and say, I didn't say that. Is he a pathological liar?
From all sides. I think we're developing as a study group.
You're not a study group.
In the long term, in history, we will be seen as doing the right thing.
Oh, Christ, now he's going down in history. He's making history on this channel, people. Why doesn't the world realise? I'm starting to worry for anyone who eats breakfast at your house, my house, or his house. This is what you get for brekkie at my house. Ta-da! Chocky! Thinking how to continue the scam. Yeah. I don't know. I have times when I think it's all a scam, and then I have times when I think he's just a raving lunatic. Compulsive liar just lies. Does he forget what he said previously? Or is he just lying? If he is just lying and he knows he's lying, he's very good at it. Because I can't work out whether it's lying or it's acting. I don't think he's that good an actor. Well, then again, he's got that picture to prove it. I don't know. Wouldn't eat... No, don't eat any of porridge at my house. You never know what's going to be in it. He has the memory of a goldfish. Well, that's not very helpful for a con man, is it? You really need to have a sharp memory to be a con man. A good one.
Like COVID.
2
years ago, you couldn't say, oh, these COVID regulations are too much. I did. And I was shouted down. Now, people are saying, well, perhaps we overdid the COVID regulations. And I believe like that.
He's ahead of his time, you see. He's a trendsetter, our Alan. What he says now, everyone's going to be thinking in 2 years' time. So we're all going to be this stupid in 2 years' time, okay? That's why I know. He's failed at everything he's done, hasn't he?
Slowly, we will be accepted.
Accepted.
Of having a point of view that's valid. And I'm so excited with my research the last week.
You feel so persecuted.
The case is closed. I think I brought a new direction to the case. That Chris may be on the spectrum. Chris possibly is Savan. Chris.
He was saying Savant the other day. Somebody's now decided to tell him how it's really pronounced. And he's trying to do it, but he's getting it wrong. Accepted. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, he's great. His English is fantastic. He should be speaking. I don't know why. He will be vindicated, you know. We will all be speaking like this in 2 years' time, and we will all be apologising to Alan. What was I going to say before Accepted turned up? I have a relative who works in a prison, and I only found this out recently, and I had a chat to them, and apparently every prisoner that comes in, I know, could you imagine it on the road? Stop distracting me. Every single prisoner that comes into a prison is psychologically assessed in several different ways over a period of time so that they can be put into the right unit with the right cellmate and the right guards and the right protection. They are comprehensively psychologically screened, every single one of them. You can't go into a prison and say, oh, no, thanks, I don't want to be screened. It just doesn't happen. You know, cooperation, it's not optional. So this idea that, you know, the perpetrator went into prison and hasn't been screened is an absolute furphy. I can guarantee it. He has. And I don't know where he's got this thing. Everything he seems to know about autism comes from the movie Rain Man, which is so out of date now. Anyway, we continue.
Is the Rain Man.
It's not Rain Man.
And that's what's been confusing all these psychiatrists for 3-4 years now.
No, it hasn't.
Once they watch my
He knows better than all the world's psychiatrists. That's exactly what, I thought of going back. You know, if I was really super bored, I'd go back through all Alan's videos, all the ones that are still there, and make up an Alan dictionary. I wish I'd started writing them down at the beginning. Anyway, Alan has diagnosed Chris Watts with autism and decided that he's what we now call high-functioning autism. It's no longer called savant. That's like a really horrible term now. So Alan now has psychological qualifications, all right? He's diagnosing on the internet.
well, they will understand. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Bill.
Because they're going, narcissist.
Yeah.
It's much more than a narcissist.
Oh, he's an expert on
What they're not
psychology
getting
now.
Is that Chris has morphed into 3 different women in his life. And you can plainly see it once you know it. Once you see the pattern that I've developed for you, you can't miss it, can you?
He's developed his own psychological modelling here for Chris. He really does think that he's had a breakthrough here, and he's really diagnosed Chris Watts with autism. When the only people that can do that are like specially trained psychologists. Not any psychologist can do it. And apparently being diagnosed with autism is like a 5-step process. But Alan has done it on YouTube. Amazing. He's got his degree from Trump University, I reckon. NOB University.
The early Chris wants to please his mum, goes to church, begs for God's forgiveness, never goes out with girls, mummy's boy. Everything she wanted. Everything Cindy wanted, he was.
Hello.
Until he grew up.
Mm.
Met Shanann. Everything Shanann wanted, Chris was. Be a good father, be a good husband, play with the kids, come on camera, take the Thrive patches, help me with this, help me with that, do my medicines, do as you're told. Go and buy a car, go and buy the house, give me your pension, I want it now. Oh, now. And that's no reflection on Shanann, that's just the other side of the story. And from now on, I'm going to tell you all sides of this story. If you don't like it, then just withdraw from Patreon and just go and be a shiner and just believe in Saint Shanann and Saint Sandy.
Or maybe it's time to tell all sides of Alan. Sounds like the gloves are off, folks.
Saint Frankie.
Saint
You
Frankie.
want to believe that? Then you're welcome to. I wouldn't stop you. Why do they want to stop me? In my opinion.
Because you're a knob.
Well, this documentary tonight was not
An ignorant
endorsed
knob.
by the R's. They weren't in the credits. That tells you they weren't keen on it. Maybe, I don't know what was
What?
offered,
No. Just because they
but they didn't put it.
just because their names aren't on the credits and they're not participating in it, it doesn't mean they disagree with it. Does he not understand partnerships? What do you mean? Bilby, I was diagnosed with Asperger's, but it is now simply autistic according to the DSM. Yeah. But we certainly don't use the term Rain Man anymore as savant. That's just, it's offensive now. He's just so old-fashioned. But the dangerous bit is, someone once said to me that people who are stupid, who think they're smart, are really dangerous. And Alan is the perfect example of that. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we know why he's permanently single. God. Saying Chris morphed into women. Yeah. Yep. Based on, the very limited evidence that we have, a few YouTube clips. Oh, yeah, he's completely ignorant. Yeah. But he thinks he's smart.
You didn't see them at all, did you? That's telling. So that's the latest documentary. And all those shiners that want everybody to shut up, well, you might as well go and tell the sea not to come in. Go and tell the tide not to come in. Because there will always be discussion on the Watts case. There will always be new documentaries, new looks.
Does he really think we're going to be talking about this case in 10 years from now? Seriously? I couldn't tell you any murders that happened 10 years ago. It's not that important, Alan. We're really not all as engrossed. The world isn't as engrossed in this case as you think it is, Alan. Wrong button. Rain Man is nothing but ignorant and does so much damage to the awareness. But you've got to be fair. Rain Man kind of brought the issue or the condition into the public sight, and then a whole lot of research happened around autism. I mean, we look back at it now and we say, yeah, that's a really ignorant portrayal of autism. But at the time, it was really groundbreaking. Did you see the other night he said because of the way Chris held his hand, it made him autistic? No. I've never heard of that with autism. I've heard of people having soothing gestures, like rocking, and it could be different for every person, rubbing your hands together. Some people like the textures of different fabrics, a satin or a velvet or something. It's just soothing. But I've never heard of anyone holding their hand in a certain way. Now he's a doctor, no need for any more. Oh, yeah, he can be his own fake insiders now, can't he? Yeah, because he can diagnose people.
It's like go and tell the media not to talk about John Burnett Ramsey. See what they say to you. They'll laugh.
Benet. I hate it when he says John Burnett Ramsey. It just sounds so ignorant. But why am I surprised when Alan says ignorant things? Oh, hand flapping, yeah.
Nearly 4 years. And it is abating. It is abating. At last, I feel that they don't have a case against me because you can't slander someone who's deceased. I've never written them a message. I've got nothing bad to say about them. I'm just studying a true crime case. How can I go to prison for that? Come on, guys.
It's not slander. It's harassment of the family. We've explained that to you many times, but you just don't listen to other people, do you? Stimming is self-soothing, and many of us have sensory. Oh, yeah, a lot of kids in the classroom have sensory issues, yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, every person with autism is different. Every child, in my experience, every child is different, yeah.
Nice. Be sensible. You tried to shut down me on YouTube, and they just didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I think the courts are going to shut me off. Well, if they do, they've got to shut down all the other million people that talked about it and get rid of all these documentaries and cut out all these films. They've all got to be destroyed. Like
No, no, no. A one-off documentary is okay, Alan. It's when you do it every day for 3 years, then it's a pattern of harassment. You see, when they're not saying get rid of everything that has to do with the case. They're just saying stop doing it every day, making up garbage for money. That's the difference between you and all the other people. But, you know, we've all explained this to you lots of times and you choose to ignore it.
Some purge, set a big bonfire, burn all the books instead of just AD's book. It's not realistic, is it?
That book needs burning.
So I really enjoyed tonight's show. A lot of people wrote to me and said, this documentary is rubbish. And I said to you all, I'm not interested in the documentary. I'm interested on the experts.
Yeah.
And that's all I've ever been. That's
Yes,
why I
Philby.
have experts on my show. I'm interested in professional opinions.
You don't have experts. You have
I'm like a sponge. I want to know.
fakes.
And I take some of it and I discard other things, right?
Yeah, only the bits you can understand. The easy bits. That's what you keep.
Tonight's show, my perspective, is based around one picture. And I've got to thank Bubbles Marie for this.
Well, that's not looking at all sides, is it?
I'm willing to give credit. This picture here.
Is Bubbles back yet?
Does anyone know what it means?
Oh, this is the one where the hand. He's deciding this hand gesture makes you autistic. Oh, let's have a look. Right.
Do you know what that should be?
I don't know.
It should be a clenched fist of anguish. It's not. It's like this is what it should have been, right? But
Why?
it was this.
Who are you to decide, A, what he was feeling at the time, and B, what gesture is appropriate to go with that? That's one still shot taken out of a video. We don't know what was being said at the time. You'd have to go back to the video and have a look. This is silly, isn't it? Well, apparently Blubbles has had a mini stroke and chicken shit's gone off for some mysterious, maybe cancer-related treatment, okay? But no one's used the C word. Oh, that's a good one, RGB 18. He is actually smart enough to find people dumb enough to believe that he is smart. Reminds me of that. Who said the quote? Was it Groucho Marx? I wouldn't belong to any club that would have me as a member. Reminds me of that. All right, so this is the hand gesture.
Stimming. It's called stimming. S-T-I-M-M-I-N-G.
Oh, it's not stimming.
There you go, dyslexic.
Stimming.
Stimming.
Stimming is a repeated gesture or movement. It's not one thing, right? It's self-soothing.
Behavior consistent with repetitive actions or movements of a type that may be displayed by people with development disorders.
Repetitive movement.
Most typically autistic spectrum disorders.
Yes, repetitive movement, Alan.
Stimming is part of a coping mechanism.
Mechanism.
For people on the spectrum. Oh my lord.
Look at the sneer. Oh my lord.
Repetitive, unusual body movements.
Repetitive.
You might remember that. What was the girl in the lift called again?
The girl in the lift.
The Chinese girl in the lift. The
Chinese girl in the lift.
Mom. The one that died, and she's in the lift doing all these. She was just.
Was he having a go at a Chinese name there? That was pretty offensive if you're Chinese, wasn't it? Though AD is a cancer. Yes. No, they're only sick up here, those two. What are the chances of them both getting sick at the same time? Really? It's not blowing your socks off?
Playing these movements in the lift. You see her with all the movement. It's almost exactly the same. And she was on the spectrum. What's she called again? Something mom, right? Someone help me in the lift. in the hotel. Anyway, if you look at that video, someone's going to tell me.
No, she's psychotic.
She does it. Bubbles, if you can find that video for me in the lift, I'll show it.
I thought Bubbles was sick.
In that hotel in downtown.
Bubbles isn't sick. She's just taken a step back because, well, somebody threatened to report her for fraud. So he's now decided this hand movement means that you've got autism. Well, that should make it a whole lot easier to diagnose people with autism. You just wait till they do this. Correct? Lisa Lamb, and she wasn't. No, she was having a psychiatric episode, right? Bipolar. He's so dangerous.
Lam, yeah. Elsa Lam. Find Elsa Lam.
Lisa.
I want to show you in the lift, and you will see the similar stimming that I'm telling you about. Eliza Lam, yeah.
No, Lisa. Dickhead.
She was on the spectrum. Her family said it. And I want you to look at that and look at that picture I showed you, and you will see whether Cindy likes it or not. Whether he was diagnosed or not, I believe Chris was on the spectrum, and he's Saban.
Because he did that.
He has the Rain Man autistic behavior.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's self-soothing. I think I've done it, guys. I think for Coda, they don't understand. How could this man do this? Well, I think I've explained it at last.
Yeah, the scales have fallen from my eyes, Alan. I love the way he makes these discoveries on the run and in front of thousands of people. The man has no idea of how stupid he looks. That was the gesture is that the gesture? Look, I have autism because I'm doing the secret autism hand movement. It's kind of like a Freemason's handshake, but that I've got autism. All right.
I think I've explained it for you.
Yeah.
And it's been bugging me for 4 years. In this last few days, I feel like a weight off my shoulders that I've at last understand it.
He's had a breakthrough.
I'm not a doctor.
No, you're not.
And I will be getting professional advice, but I think I've got it.
No, you haven't. You're way off, mate. No shame. No shame at all. Good God, he's worked it out.
Hand flapping is called. Unusual body movements, finger flicking, rocking back and forth, things like that.
Certainly not that.
But stimming doesn't mean to say you definitely got autism. HDHD is another difference you can use.
HDHD, that sounds serious. He wouldn't mean ADHD, would he? See, that just proves that he hasn't got, what does he think, dyslexia? Because he read the letters wrong. He just can't read.
So there's that as well. So what's it caused by?
Yeah, if you do that at work, they've got to send you home. You've got autism.
A variety of emotions. When you're under pressure, you will express.
Yeah, HDHD. High definition.
In response to anxiety, stress, and fear, people they will do it.
Is he reading off Wikipedia again? I bet you he is.
It's there. They will do it when they're overwhelmed.
Yes, they do.
They don't know what to do, and he does the stimming for you.
That's not
what it is.
stimming. All right, hang on a sec. We're going to go and find stimming. Oh dear, I should do one where I one of these videos where I just fact check him and prove him wrong on everything. Let's find someone who knows what they're talking about. Hey, look, there's me being live. That's funny. Stimming examples. Now, let's find one from somebody who knows what they're talking about. Aussie autism family. I don't think so. BetterHelp. Andy ambitious about autism. Does nobody know what they're talking about? Nurturing neurodiversity. Right. What does stimming look like?
Board with shorts, the up your short shorts, the one size fits all board short. But these could be my dad.
You got to have the ads
Hi,
first.
my name's Faye. I am the mother of a 3-year-old little boy with autism. Today I'm going to make a video on stimming. So what is stimming? When someone refers to a person as stimming, they basically mean they're engaging in self-stimulatory behaviour. Just basically means behaviour that is done to gain sensory feedback of some description for the person doing it, and that's the only purpose it serves. It's literally just for the benefit of the person doing it. At the moment, Dexter has 2 main stims. He hand flaps when he's excited, which is just like jumping for joy. He's like so happy, that's how it comes out. And he hums to comfort himself or to block out his senses to concentrate. So he does this a lot when he's poorly or unsure of something.
So it's a repetitive movement, folks. It's not just a hand gesture. There's no secret hand gesture that you can use to CBI the pattern pens out. Do you reckon they watch him and take notes? He watches AD for tips. Oh, absolutely. Rourke. Yeah, Rourke's an idiot. Everyone knows that.
How do we know? Well, I think we've seen it.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
I think we got there.
You knob.
Also, I can tell you this, and it's like trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
It will include unusual or inappropriate smelling as well.
What?
Remember Chris, was he not picking his nose and licking his fingers?
What?
Do you remember that?
Does anyone remember the part of the interviews where Chris Watts picks his nose and eats it? I don't remember that part of the interview. Alan does. Oh, dear. You do a repetitive hand gesture at the school. Let me guess. Does it involve one finger? Some people might argue that Alan's hand towards the screen is a little bit stimmy. There's a video out there somewhere of Alan playing poker and waiting for someone else's hand to finish and rocking backwards and forwards like that. So according to that, Alan, you've got autism. Might explain a few things. So yes, sometimes 2 fingers. He picked his ear and ate it. Did he really? But he had his back to us. But he certainly didn't pick his nose, did he?
Some of you might remember. And he was literally picking his nose and licking his finger. And that's it, guys.
What?
What a catch.
Alan picks his nose and farts.
To do with anxiety. It will reduce the feeling of anxiety and make you calmer.
He could put on his calmer armour. He doesn't need to stim. He could put on his calmer armour.
Or you're frustrated. Wow.
Wow. This explains a lot.
Self-stimulating. Self-soothe. Again, don't talk about the case. It's all closed. My God, this is so important. Psychology was. Why wasn't he assessed? Or was it his ear he was picking? I knew it was something. It was definitely inappropriate.
It was definitely an inappropriate orifice he was picking. Mr. Metadata strikes again. Hey, didn't Chris pick his nose and eat it during the interview? Oh, Alan.
His ear, okay. Earwax, yeah. That's exactly the behavior.
Oh, look at you.
Honestly, guys, this explains so much. I'm
Wrong hole.
over
I
the
got the
moon
wrong
to
hole.
understand this case more
Story
than
of my
anyone
life.
has ever done. We've moved this case forward the last few days. With my podcast last night and tonight, we have a much greater understanding of the case.
Hey, podcast.
speak.
That reminded me. he did one night of podcast. Did he do the podcast because he didn't want to show us a hotel room? Just putting that out there. Somebody has suggested this to me, and they know who they are, and they're in the chat. I don't like to name names. I know it might look like I'm stealing somebody's idea, but I don't like to name names in case I haven't got that person's permission. So somebody suggested to me that he did the podcast because he didn't want people to see a hotel room. Sounds feasible to me. It sounds more feasible than Chris Watts has autism. That's how they knew he was guilty when he picked his nose and ate it, of course. Because that's the kind of yucky thing a criminal would do. Yeah.
Now,
You're right.
than we did before. Because before, we just couldn't understand it. Now I can tell you why.
You couldn't understand it.
Why Chris was able to do this stuff and seem so calm.
Why?
Now you know.
Why? Oh, they make more money on YouTube. Oh, that's why he did it then.
Let's look at this Alyssa arm. Let's have a look at this.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see if it's got, because she moves her body in strange positions, and everybody thought it was like spirits or ghosts.
No, it's called having
Let's
a
have a look at
psychotic
this.
episode, Alan.
Might take me a bit to find it, but bear with me. It's just interesting. People
He's
thought it
so
was
ignorant.
shape-shifting and stuff like that.
Shape-shifting.
People misunderstanding it as shape-shifting. It's not. It's on the
Shape-shifting.
spectrum.
Not on the
Here's
spectrum.
an old AD from a way back. Let's find in the lift. That's the hotel.
Show us your Google searches, Alan.
The lift bit.
That's way more interesting than any of
Okay.
those.
Okay, guys, I want you to watch this and go, "Oh my God, AD."
Oh, yeah. Did he ever finish that
I'm
body
so
language
excited.
course?
I
We
think
never
he
heard any
caught
more
it.
about it, did we? I bet you he didn't. He'd be telling us if he did.
Let's go.
Shocking. It's going to frighten you tonight.
Yeah.
You won't sleep tonight, you folks. Well, I'm not. I won't be able to sleep when I'm looking at this. Look at him.
Oh, the
Gee.
ghost. Yeah, the ghost. Cecil Hotel, guys. Hold on to your
I
hat.
mean, I don't even like looking at the place. Imagine looking up at that. You
Oh,
know, I'm going in there, I'm never coming out again.
Hurry up, knobhead. Sometimes he just lets things run to fill up
Yes, he
time.
is.
There's some shadows to be found. All will become clear later.
Is Val here?
She's
Hi,
hiding
Val.
there. What's she hiding from? How did she get in that tank? How did she get on the roof? Number one, it's all locked.
We're
How
just
did she get in
looking,
the
Val,
tank?
we're just
See
looking
that
at the
cover they've
secret
got there? Let me
autism
go
hand
back.
movement. Apparently this proves that you have
Oh, hang on,
autism.
go back.
I've been away for a
You
few
see the
days, so
size
I
of that
haven't seen
cover?
any of this.
It's about 4 foot,
I don't really want to see
3
it.
foot.
Yeah, show us
It's
her
heavy.
being
So she's climbed in there.
show us her
and pulled the
being
cover back
autistic.
over.
He's decided she was
How did she
autistic
manage
too,
that
because
when
she
she's
did the
gone
hand
swimming in
movement.
water?
Look at her body shape.
Here's the lift. She makes some weird movements.
See,
Other than that,
AD noticed
Behind the
there.
doors of this house
She
on
makes
this
some
usually
weird
quiet
movements, right?
Derbyshire street.
Oop, what happened there? Where did
did-
she was
show us your
normal
Google
teenager,
searches?
Why
But
did
she
he-
did have her problems.
How come AD noticed she makes some wild movements, guys? I did notice it. I really did.
Why would she go to America and decide to commit?
Okay.
How did she get in that tank?
Right, is it?
How she got up there with that ladder then?
Just watch it.
Yeah, you got to press play, Alan. Alan,
If you were going to
Alan.
murder somebody and put them in a tank, that's more likely, isn't it?
Alan.
Isn't it weird that it's in a tank like the Watts murders, right? That's weird as well.
Oh, that's weird as well. That's two parallels.
I know it's not oil.
Some
but
people
it's-
say it was an organ thing, one of those where they steal the organs.
For God's sake. Show us the secret autistic hand movement.
I don't know if she's got on top of there. No idea.
He's forgotten what he was doing now.
Look
Alan,
at her hands.
Alan, Alan.
Oh my God. There
Oh
you
my
go.
God, she's got it too.
People said this was ghostly. Now we know. Now we know.
That's
It's
it.
Autism.
That's
She was
autism.
autistic. Her family told us. There's the proof. You see Chris do a similar thing.
Oh, you.
Chris is on the spectrum. I'm willing to say that now.
She's got You're seeing the video. Look at
Oh
that
my
hand.
God.
What's going on with that hand? This is
Alan.
so spooky. Imagine staying in a hotel and you're making a cup of tea and the water comes out black.
Did she pick an? I don't know. Did she pick her
Oh,
nose and
I
eat
can't
it?
even bear thinking about it.
Just watch it for an hour while I play poker
I'm trying to
online.
get hold of her family. I'm
Do you
sure
reckon
they
that's
don't
what he
think it
does?
is. But
Puts
now
old
look at the
videos
look
on
at the shape
and
of her feet here.
plays
How does she
poker?
get her feet in these positions?
Oh, she's turning around, you knob. For goodness sake. Get NK to check her crystals. Good point. Is she into crystals? Got any crystals in her orifices?
Maybe she's just having a bipolar episode and chucked herself in a tank. I don't know if she did it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if she did it.
We should get the tarot cards out, shouldn't we, really? I'll go and get me tarot cards.
Yeah, the tanks are full, evidently.
Oh, dear. Oh,
How she
yes.
closed the lid, folks.
She had crystal
How she got her feet
tea.
in this position.
Oh,
You're getting ready to see the film because it's coming up soon.
for God's sake. It's like he's going to say it's like The Exorcist in a minute.
There's a lift. Now, the thing is, with AD, you are not getting the film we've ever seen before. This is a new look at it, okay? I've picked up a couple of things that nobody else have, I think.
Oh, he thinks he's so clever.
There's a mystery.
She has to get out
People
of
just throw themselves
rehab.
in
Oh,
tanks.
yeah. Is NK
Is that
back
a way
in
to commit
rehab, is she?
suicide? Somehow get up there and somehow put the lid back on? I wonder what our parents think. I think they think it's suicide.
I
So
want to see the moving tank.
If you're watching NK, I've got your back, girl. All right.
Here we go.
to work, let's face it. This is normal.
Look at this. This is
isn't it?
autism.
She's going to go, how do I get this lift to work? And
Yep.
she waits for it to go.
Look at that. Clearly
The door
autistic.
doesn't close. So what would you do? You do that.
No, I
No,
wouldn't.
she's
So
anxious.
you now think the door's going to close,
Yeah.
right? But now, why is she hiding?
Because
Autism.
she's
She's now hiding in the corner.
psychotic,
She's
Alan.
anxious.
She's
Still don't understand why the
paranoid.
door
She
isn't
thinks
closed. She goes
somebody's
out again,
following her.
tries to affect the door to
Oh,
close.
God. NK is in a
Steps
safe
outside,
house with Betty and the
gingerly,
red car. Are they all in hiding
Right
together?
outside, steps out, jumps outside. What is she doing now? Now, I'm sure she's trying to get the lift to work, to be honest with you folks.
Yeah, I reckon he's playing poker
Now,
right now.
This is where it gets really spooky. Watch her hand movements.
Spooky. Yeah, that's spooky.
I don't know why the door's not closing. That's the problem. The damn door closes when she leaves.
Oh, for God's sake.
Now, watch your hands. Again, obviously, at this stage, she's still trying to get the lift to work. Let's face it. You do this, wouldn't you?
Absolute
She's not acting right,
scammer.
but all she wants at this stage is for the damn door to close.
Anxiety kicks in though.
Again, she steps outside because the door isn't
Spooky
closed.
autism.
By now, she's freaking out. Now, watch her hands.
Look
her
at her
hands.
hands.
There you go, guys.
That's
Swimming,
autism.
She's underwater.
That's
Swimming.
an autistic episode, guys.
Look at her
Autistic
hands.
episode.
Now you'd say she's having some sort of episode
She's
with
nervous.
her hands. She's scared.
You said she was talking to somebody, didn't you?
She can't get the lift to work. She's in a strange country.
She's mental.
She's freaking out now. in my opinion.
Alan. But now it's autism. He has no idea. No, she didn't pick her nose. Not that I could see. No. Yeah, she's
This is where I
hallucinating.
think the paranormal people should come in because I've seen things here now.
Oh, that's right. It was paranormal for a
This
while.
is where it gets crazy.
God, I hope she's. I wish NK would come and sue him.
No, she's gone.
Yeah.
Where's she gone? I don't know.
Yeah, knob jockey. Yep, one of my favourite
But to be
sayings.
fair,
Remove
she had
that
3
Rowena
attempts. And the bloody
Dowson
lift
comment.
works now.
It's a
She's
spam
gone.
thing.
Look at that.
I
But
don't
now-
even know where it is.
Look closely at the door. I see something going on.
Oh,
Rowena,
I see shadows,
Rowena.
movement,
Shadows AD.
paranormal activity. I'll show you that again with a different colour. Look at the door.
Oh, I didn't know I could do that. There you go. I've learned
So
something
you've got to
tonight.
remember, she's had 4 attempts to open that door.
Oh,
Nothing
no.
happened.
Now they've all
The minute
disappeared.
she goes, the door closes.
Oh, there it is. You're all back again. Autism experience, a spooky
So I've done a
autism
heat
experience.
sensor here. Again,
No.
ID.
She does the
But anyway,
secret
you saw the
autism hand thing.
And the foot. Explains it. Nothing to do with psychics or ghosts. To do with autism.
He's just completely missed the bit in the description that he read, which goes to show that when he reads something, he's not fully comprehending what he reads. So there's kind of 2 basic levels of reading. One is reading the words and decoding the words, each individual word. The next level, which is harder to teach kids when you're teaching to read, is to put those words into sentences and be able to form pictures and comprehend. He's not comprehending. He can decode. He can tell you what the words mean, which we call barking at the text. But he didn't comprehend what he read. He didn't get the bit about it's a repetitive movement. He thinks it's just a movement. He needs sectioning. Is that what they, in the UK, what they call being committed to an asylum? Is that what sectioning is? Sorry. Yeah, sorry. We're doing a masterclass on teaching kids how to read. Sorry. I should have a Patreon channel explain to people how to teach their kids how to read. Okay, yeah, he should be. This guy should be. And now I'm going to diagnose somebody, all right? This guy needs psychiatric help. If he's not getting it, he should be. He certainly needs to be diagnosed with something. My personal opinion, if we're all out here diagnosing antisocial personality disorder, but I don't know how to diagnose. Imagine diagnosing autism is about the hands now, not I know. How good is that? So I didn't know being a psychologist was so easy. All you've got to do is see somebody do that with their hand. Autism. That'll be $150, thanks. It's so easy. He needs a good thump. That's what he needs. Throat punch.
Easy when you know, right?
Yeah, easy when you know.
Well, you've seen Chris. She's on the spectrum.
She's not.
Her family admit that.
No, she's
Chris,
bipolar.
We're told he's not on the spectrum, but he damn well is. That's why we never saw assessment. No doubt they know. No doubt he's been assessed as on the spectrum. They ain't telling us.
Well, why should they?
So there you
Seriously,
go.
it's none of your business.
Every day on this show, right? So, apart from that, we heard from we heard a lot from Nate's mum, didn't we?
Did we?
Where's Nate? Not allowed to participate. He had phone calls from the family. You are not allowed to say anymore. Please. And he didn't. But he pushed his mum in front of the camera and she wrote a book instead. The book that he was going to write, which I believe he did, was released in his mum's name. So he got his book deal.
Is there any proof for this? That Nate's mother's book was really written by Nate? Anyone got any proof for this? Because remember, Alan was only ever going to do facts from now on. That died a quick death, didn't it? He just makes stuff up. I think he just makes stuff up, but in his head, it's true. He thinks that everything he thinks is true.
Through his mum. I didn't
Shoved
see
his mum in front of the camera. Yeah.
Did you see Nate's mum anywhere on the body cams? How come she knows so much to write a book?
Well, she wasn't there on the night. No.
Well done, Nate. You beat the odds. I like it. That's one way around it. Chris did the same. He wrote a letter with Dylan. He wrote a book with Dylan and put it in Dylan's name.
It's about prayers, you
You
knob.
can't control the world. Shanann's parents can't control the world. People find ways around it.
You suggesting that's what you're doing, Alan? Sounds a little bit like that to me.
I believe, as my friend here, Sugar Mama says.
Oh, hang on.
Last week,
AD, you found a missing piece that helps things to make more sense. Well, that's good English, isn't it? You have found a missing piece that helps things to make more sense. Yes, I'd agree with that. I think Alan's actually the missing link between apes and people. Smarmy, horrible bog trotter. That's a really nice British way of saying knob, isn't it? Beautiful. You reckon there's one brain cell?
We found a missing piece to the jigsaw puzzle that makes it all come together.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is savant.
He's not a savant.
Prove it by his first phase being for his mum and mummy's boy. Never going out with a girl because that would upset mum. I mustn't take myself away from mum. Going to church on Sundays. Please God forgive me. Locking himself in the bed. Please God forgive me. That was his mum phase, right?
So everything Alan knows about autism is based apparently on what he saw in the movie Rain Man, which was a very early movie. And it only showed one very extreme example of autism. Autism comes in all shapes and sizes, and it's different between boys and girls. They have different behaviors, boys and girls. It's so much harder to pick in girls. But he thinks because of the movie that people with autism are really have no personality. They're really blank, and they'll just do whatever you want them to do. They'll just follow along. The kids that I've taught with autism are some of the most pig-headed people. They can be really frustrating to work with because they get frustrated. They're not people who just go along with anything you say, right? So he's basing everything he knows about autism on the movie Rain Man. What a deal! That's Australian for idiot.
Eventually, she lost him to Chanel.
No, he doesn't do emotions well. No.
Who made him perfect husband, perfect father, perfect servant. Go and get my pills. Look after me. Go and get the kids.
Go and get my oxy.
I'm going away. We get it. Yeah.
Because I've got an oxy addiction, apparently.
Don't talk to your mother anymore. I'm in charge now. Okay, I won't talk to my mother anymore. Hey, and he morphed into this reflection of Shanann.
You look up knob in the dictionary, there's a picture of Alan.
He's in all the videos. Doing his damn toe.
What are you doing at work?
F off. I'm not appearing in these videos. It's disgusting putting our life on social media. I am not going to do it. That's most
not going to do it.
You don't see Mummy Rambler's husband on the screen all the time, or our kids do.
He's too scared.
Chris did.
Poor Jimmy.
Because he was told to.
One thing they have in common is the dislike of... Yeah, they don't like loud noise. Yeah.
Chris was told to promote. Chris was told to smile. Chris was told to be a father. Chris was told to...
That's very common to not like loud noises or bright light.
He became what Shanann wanted him to become. Proof number 2. So he was his mum's boy. He was Shanann's husband.
That just means he lacks personality, Alan.
Until she went away for 6 weeks.
God, I wish you could do my hair. Are you a hairdresser, truth be told?
And then he became Chris number 3. Now, Coda says there's 2 Chris's, right? There's 3. There's the early days with his mum. There's his middle days with Shanann. And it's the one he is now with NK. With NK, he learned about sex. He learned about camping. He learned about anger when she was angry with bipolar.
I reckon Alan's actually jealous of Chris Watts's sex life with NK because not every time. Oh, damn. When I come over to the UK, you can cut my hair, okay? Because I can't. Are you good with short hair? There's a bit of a skill to cutting short hair, and it's really hard to find a good cutter. Anyway, what was I saying? Alan is jealous of... all right, yep, I'll come over. I need a good haircut. And we might go to Western Supermare. I'd love to just sit in the coffee shop and wait for him to walk in. Anyway, what was I saying? Alan is jealous of Chris's sex life with NK. He talks about it an awful lot. I think he secretly
He learnt about
fancies
dark
NK.
things. He learned about crystals.
You'll have
He
a good
learnt the
chin
word
wag.
like. He became her.
He drank
In her
crystal
image,
tea.
Chris was created on the sand dunes. He's so damn sexy.
Oh, he loves that
He
phrase.
became what she wanted.
Oh, Mr. Shannonite's here.
Glasses and straight. He became what she wanted. Crazy
Once
love.
they have him in their hand,
wanted-
it melts like a knob of butter and leaves
Well, why did she look up sex with two
and a
men?
mess.
Because Chris would do whatever she said, right? Think about that. She knew she could get Chris to do anything. Why does she Google sex with two men?
That's the bit Alan is really jealous
Because
about.
she knew Chris would do as he was told. That's the only reason she looked it up.
Yep.
So he was three people. He was Cindy's boy, Sinan's boy, and Kay's boy.
Mm.
Now, NK unfortunately had another thing, which is anger.
What?
Did he
Did NK have a bad temper? Anybody know this? Because Alan's saying this is fact.
pick up anger? Well, yes, he did. And I quote,
And
I
I
was
quote,
angry at Shanann. I was angry at the girls. I would kill anybody that was anywhere near me that day. Is that Chris number one talking when he was his mum, who was too scared of God? Was that Chris number two when he was a great father and a great husband?
yeah.
Or was it
I think he
Chris
fancies
number three?
NK. Cockering
Saw
Alan.
NK's anger, raw anger at his house when she demanded to supply the
Ooh.
first boy.
That also could be mirroring narcissism. They mirror to be what you want them to be. Yeah, that's probably what he's doing. And didn't he lie a lot when he was a kid? He lied that he went to China on the holidays or something. I reckon he was just like devoid of personality and he took on the personality of whoever he was with at the time. But it's not necessarily autism, Alan.
And that was the trigger to the whole damn thing.
He's been letting the dog
He's
sleep
still
on his jumper again, Val.
Protecting her to this day. I don't want to protect her, but he does. Now, of course, there will come a day when he moves on to Chris number 4.
Who will that be?
I believe he's been close to that on a few occasions with, I won't mention their names. There's some girls that ran him in jail.
Chris number 4 is probably something along the lines of, pick that soap up for me, would you, mate? That's Chris number 4.
There was one that was there for 2 years that was thrown out, frightened off by KK. There's
Didn't
one
he
there,
say they
I won't
went to a
mention her
nudist
name, she was
camping
there,
site?
and her house
Yeah,
was broken into.
apparently.
And a load of stuff about Chris was taken, and she had enough and left. I believe she was close. She was controlling Chris at that time, but she was taken away from Chris. So who controls him now? Well, there's one woman called Griffiths that goes there all the time. I take it he's under the umbrella of this, whoever it is, this Griffiths woman. I don't know her character, so I don't know what we're looking for in Chris.
Is he keeping a constant eye on that prisoner the visitor list at the prison? That's like stalking, Alan. That's not investigating. That's stalking somebody.
But I can promise you,
Bubbles will
he
be doing
can't
that.
survive without being under control of a woman. That's why he only writes back to women, because he's looking for the next controller.
Chris 9, I know.
He may already have her.
Has he got 9 lives like a
Or
cat?
he may still be in the palms of Kessinger's hands.
How many lives do autistic people get?
Can't answer every question.
Yes, you can. Come
But
on.
that's where I believe it is today. And I believe he's on the spectrum. I believe he's Savant. I believe he's a Rain Man. I believe he's a photographic memory. And I think I've proved every single thing I just told you.
Yeah, right.
And people will say I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I'm just a stupid conspiracy
Oh,
theorist.
I'm a special ed teacher. Here you go. And certified in teaching students with autism. and I'm an applied behavior analyst. Great analysis. Spot on, AD. Well, there's a teacher who doesn't know what they're talking about. That's ridiculous. No teacher with all those certifications is going to say that. What's the obsession? Is that the Kelly girl that he goes on to have on his show tonight or tomorrow night or something? I think I have to watch that one next.
And yet, what's the obsession? It says, I'm a special education teacher. I'm certified teaching students with autism and applied behavior analysis.
Applied behavior analyst
says it's a great analysis, and I'm spot on. Right. Well, Bubbles, let's get what's the obsession to come on one day this week, and we'll go through all this stuff, all these new discoveries of the autism, of the savan, of the Rain Man, of the hand movements, the stimming. Let's get what's the obsession on.
On last night, was she?
We have to get proof.
Ooh, is it on YouTube? Whoa, let's have a look. Kelly, what's the obsession? What's he called it? Armchair detective. Chris Watts. Kelly. Let's see how good Kelly is at education. Get past this stuff. All right.
Makes them destitute, makes them over competitive, and it's a bad thing. I couldn't have said it 2 years ago.
Right. Here we go.
Like a diamond. Show all facets of that diamond, not just one dimension. Most channels don't do the What's case anymore.
No, they've grown out of it.
The ones that did do it from a perspective of Shanann is a saint or Chris is a...
I'm so sick of hearing this speech. But I'm going to do it from all different directions, and I'm only going to stick to the facts.
Yeah. With Asperger's and other things, you know, that I believe Chris has.
Misha.
And I think you're going to be fascinated by tonight's programs. Now, let me show you something. This is YouTube. This is a fellow creator called What's the Obsession? This is Kelly. I don't think she uses her surname. That's fine. So we're just going to call her Kelly. I hope you're going to respect her tonight. She has been around YouTube for a while. She burst onto the scene about, I don't know, 6-7 months ago. And look at this. She's had like 72,000, 52,000, 50,000 views.
Isn't it interesting that Alan's brain automatically, straight away, goes, how many views has she got? That's like a gambling mentality. I've got to look at the numbers. Interesting. Tells you something about why he's on YouTube, doesn't it?
Views, 49, 48, 47. She is very consistent and watched.
And doing better than you.
Nobody has heard of her. I don't know why. No, well, they have, but you know what I mean. She's not vocal. I don't think she's like wanted to be a YouTuber. So I'm going to ask her all about that. But
she doesn't make up stuff.
She definitely is the second biggest or second most watched channel.
After you?
After me.
After me.
Over 1 million views already. She's already just started.
Yeah, what's it worth?
So she must have something, right?
You'll only put her on if she's worth something to him.
I don't think she needs any help. I think she's doing fine on her own.
Oh, go and give her a hand, Alan.
We're going to do what we can.
Give her a leg up.
Let my members know a bit more about her tonight.
Yeah, you might lose some members to her.
Okay, so that's her channel. What's the Obsession?
Yeah.
That's the plug. Also, she is qualified.
He's still sitting on an angle, isn't he?
And I will show you her qualifications now.
Oh, no, I'm going to diagnose him. He sits on an angle And you notice that one side of his face isn't as animated as the other side. The eye looks slightly different and he smiles on the other side. I think, using Alan as my role model, I think Alan's had a stroke. You know, when he had his hypertension, rushed to the hospital. What was that, last January or something? I don't know. I reckon he had a stroke, personally. But there you go. If he can diagnose, so can I.
A lot of people say that when I bring experts on, they're all fake.
Something of science in education. All right, Kelly, somebody. Purdue University. Is that like a good university?
All fake.
Master of
She's
Science. What's a Master of Science in education? Recognition of the fulfillment of the requirements of the degree, blah, 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 blah. Union nomination of the faculty have granted Kelly so-and-so. Okay, so she's got a degree. All right, good on her.
She is a teacher. There you go, University, Kelly, won't do it. And then she's got a degree, Master of Science of Education. The state of Indiana as well. She's got a professional educator's license.
I wouldn't be putting that on
No
YouTube.
one can argue with that, can they?
Yes. Is she current?
I'll leave it there for a minute so the trolls can take note of it and try to debunk it. But
I don't know. Is she current? I certainly wouldn't be putting my teaching qualifications on the internet. That's for sure. And not my license either.
you know, she has a YouTube channel.
Each to his own.
One, the second most popular YouTube channel on the What's case there is.
After you.
I know there's other channels that do other stuff, but just on the What's, she's right there. So
yeah, good point. Piece of paper means nothing.
Bubbles got her ready.
Tell us where she works.
I'm going to try to get the background of the young lady. Well, young
fake.
lady. I guess she's young. I've never met her. Heard about her.
Purdue University. I like checking things, all right? Indiana. Purdue University, Indiana's land-grant university. Purdue University is a world-renowned public research university that advances discoveries in science, technology, engineering, and math. Okay, what about their education school? Purdue University, Master of Science in Education. Masters in Learning Design and Technology, Purdue, delivering effective instructional materials. Masters in Learning. There's a Masters in Learning Design, but I can't see a Masters. What was it? A Masters in Science of Education. There's a Master of Science in Instructional Design and Technology. So that's designing programs, educational programs. I didn't see anything there that said anything about special ed or working with, kids with disabilities. All right. Okay. All right. So I haven't seen anything yet that said expert in. Now I've got to find the right tab again. Oh my God, what have I done? Oh, old people and technology, aren't they funny?
But the main thing I wanted to do is that she's been saying in chat lately that I'm right about Chris being on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So if she can prove that, I'll be so pleased.
Hello, what are we saying here? Korsakoff's syndrome, if anyone wants to Google, describes a lot of his behavior. Whose behavior? We're talking Alan or Chris Watts? Korsakoff's syndrome. Sounds serious. This is one of those sessions where you get to watch me Google a lot of stuff. Korsakoff syndrome. Let's read about the syndrome and find out, try and work out who they're talking about. Korsakoff syndrome is chronic memory disorder. Oh, that's Alan. Caused by severe deficiency of thiamine. A memory impairment. So we're talking about Alan, are we? Validation from a fake again. Oh, I don't know if she's a fake. She could be a teacher, but she's certainly not a special education teacher with, you know, special qualifications in autism, like she says. She's probably stretching the truth a little bit. AD's behaviour. Yeah.
To get some backup. Okay, so I want you to give a warm welcome to our friend Kelly from What's the Obsession.
Ray, Kelly.
Hi there.
Oh.
Hi there, Alan. How you doing today?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Very well.
Posing for the camera. That's not a good sign.
Good. Thanks for having me on. This is a pleasure.
Well, I've seen you in chat. I've never spoken to you, but I've heard about you. Yeah.
That's right.
Right. So, first of all, that's your qualifications. Tell us a bit more about the qualifications and what you do, Kelly.
Okay, so I am a certified special education teacher.
No.
And I'm a certified applied.
No, it didn't say that in the qualifications. You need to show us the separate qualification for that.
Behavioral analyst. So what that means,
I didn't see anything that said special analysis of behaviors. Okay. I didn't see qualifications.
is one of my specialties is to, in this case, go into classrooms, work with students, observe their behaviors, and then come up with plans to change any socially undesirable behaviors into behaviors that are socially acceptable, so the student will assimilate better into the classroom and therefore learn better. It's all about student learning. For the last several years, I've worked exclusively with students with autism. I'm certified to work with students with autism, and I also work with adults with autism. I just work once a week, one evening a week. I work at a place locally here. I'm in upstate New York. That is a home to the criminally insane. So it's true. These are all people that have committed crimes that have been deemed to be criminally insane through a variety of assessment and tests. Yeah. So
you're right at the edge of it then.
So you should ask her whether everybody's tested when they go into prison. Why don't you do that, Alan? I haven't seen anything that suggests she's got special qualifications in autism.
And you're right on the edge of the cutting edge of this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting work, and I've always had a passion to work with students with developmental disabilities. And I just have to give a little tip to your viewers here. So, because if someone were to come into my classroom, even the youngest of students, right now I work with secondary age students, but when I was working with young students, they would correct people. So when we're talking about students or people with autism, we use what's called person-first language. So rather than to say an autistic person or an autistic student, what is the correct thing to say is a person with autism or a student with autism.
Oh, right. A bit like a color and stuff. All that stuff.
Or instead of a dyslexic person, a person with dyslexia.
Me, I'm a person with dyslexia.
You don't want to be known as the dyslexic guy. You know, you're a person, you're Alan, and you have dyslexia, right?
Which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's worked out well
It's
for me.
not
so.
necessarily a bad thing. No, not at all. No.
What about autism? Is that necessarily...
No, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And in fact, from my experience, a lot of people I've worked with, students and adults who have autism, they learn differently. It's not even that they learn or they interact with the world in a worse way. It's just a different way. And many of them have talents. They have extraordinary qualities. And there are some certain tendencies they might have towards these extraordinary qualities that a so-called normal person or a person without a disability would not have.
A normal person. Well, there's a phrase someone who taught special ed would never use, a normal person. I mean, she's got some experience.
I think they're highly intuitive people. Usually they're highly sensitive people. And they can also be, in that sensitivity, they can also be very easily hurt or injured, or
Hmm.
in a way withdraw back into their shell because they realize that the world around them is not perceiving them in the way that they are or the way they see themselves. So they withdraw, which I think might be what happened with our Chris Watts here a little bit, you know?
Do people know they have it? Is it like something they oh yeah, I'm on the spectrum? They
Yeah,
know it?
I think people know they have it when they've gone through the proper
Oh, don't throw
assessments
your
and
laptop.
evaluations, and they've been told they have it. I think without having that label placed upon them, they would not intrinsically feel like there was something different about them, or they might feel like there's something different about them, but they wouldn't
Mask
know.
it, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe mask it, yeah.
exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
What about people around them? Could they go through their whole life without ever being diagnosed and nobody would even suspect? Or
Yeah, well, they can absolutely go through their lives without being diagnosed. In fact, the best time to diagnose a person with autism is before the age of 3. If somebody has autism, they are showing signs of this before.
All right, she knows a little bit about autism. Okay, there's a motive going on here. Yeah, she'd be wanting to take some of his subs, wouldn't she? Because they're both into the Watts case. She'd probably just want some of his subs, I assume. She is not using the correct terms such as neurodiverse and neurotypical. Yeah, she's not. And, you know, you wouldn't say normal person.
Before the age of 3. There's diagnostic tools that will diagnose a person very, very young, as young as a baby, just being, you know, as they're coming into their verbal stages. So many of I would say, of the students that I work with at this time, there's probably, I was thinking about this earlier, it's probably, as far as I know, because I read their extensive histories of every person I work with, it's probably about a 50-50 split of those that were diagnosed in that pre-3-year-old age and those that were diagnosed afterwards. Very interestingly, I looked into the statistic just about 2 hours ago today. I finally got someone that got back to me. The percent of the people that I work with in the criminally insane adult population who were diagnosed with autism that early, they only have record of.
And we don't use the term criminally insane anymore. He can't follow a word she's saying. He's either bored or he's scared to say anything in case she analyzes him with her exceptional analyst skills, or he's scared to say anything.
2 of the people,
or he's
like
playing
30
poker, perhaps.
wow.
From the
Truth,
person's
though?
account who I spoke with, who's a psychologist there, is that most of them were not diagnosed until late into their adult years, and oftentimes not until after they started committing crimes.
These people are criminally insane. There's some of them walking the streets.
No, well, they're all housed in it's a residential program that they're in this small town that I live in. When they're building this facility, I remember like 20 years ago,
clients
people were
here
so
got a
opposed
hoe.
to it. They're like, oh, they're going to come out in the community, and they're not walking the streets. They're all very highly monitored. But you know, the program that they're in is very rehabilitative. So the goal for most of them is to allow them to be walking the streets when they pass a very strict set of, you know, assessments and psychiatric evaluations where the psychologists up there deem them able to walk the streets without being a danger to other people. So I do see some of them are released, not very many, but they do get released.
So this is interesting.
How does a teacher end up working with the criminally insane? I'm confused now.
Me, I have no idea. These people are criminally insane. Do any of them have empathy for other people?
And what is empathy?
Yes,
asks Alan.
That's a really great question. And just off the top of my head, I know they do. I had an incident up there one time. I'm saying
God.
up there because it's housed way up on a hill, sort of, you know, way out of means.
Away from
I
the
had
normal
an incident
people
up there where I do
Yeah,
yoga
probably.
with these people. I also teach yoga. I've been doing that for about 20
Oh,
years.
she's a yoga teacher.
And just to warm up.
Isn't yoga evil? Uh-oh. She's giving off evil vibes.
Sometimes I'll go up there and you can tell they're really tightly wound. So in order to just get some of their energy out,
We
I
do
have them
some
just running some
yoga.
laps around the gym because we do our thing in the gymnasium.
All right.
Now there's always an armed state trooper up there, along with some of the other residential counselors.
This doesn't sound like
Well,
teaching.
This was kind of my bad, but someone should have maybe warned me. I was running around and around, and I got into a corner of the gym where apparently they know there's no cameras, and this large African-American man pinned me by my shoulders up against the wall and had some words to say.
And
basically
raped
threatened
me. Yeah.
So I didn't go back there for a few weeks after that because it was
Oh my
very
God.
upsetting. I was shaken to the core. But when I did go back, some of the other, they call them residents up there rather than inmates because they're trying to destigmatize them.
Yeah.
They, several of them came up to me, and a couple of them with tears in their eyes telling me how sorry they were that happened. And I felt like their interaction with me was completely sincere. And to me, that showed that they absolutely had empathy and they realized.
What, every single one of them had autism, did they? Nah, this isn't working for me. She sounds like some sort of therapist, maybe. Something like an occupational therapist. This isn't teaching. We don't use terms like criminally insane. That same family member I mentioned a while ago, who works in a prison, works in a prison that is kind of half mainstream prisoners and half they don't use criminally insane, people with psychiatric issues, right? And there is absolutely no way these people, from what my son describes, would be out of their cells all at once, running around a gymnasium with a woman. There is absolutely no way. These are people that he tells me are locked in their cells most of the time, and think it's great to think they can stop the staff from touching them by smearing their own feces all over their bodies. So if she's trying to tell me that, they've let a bunch of these people out and let them run around the gym with her, I've got real problems with that, given that what my family member has told me about these people. Nah. You reckon yoga instructor? Yeah, yoga instructor.
How much that hurt me, and it in turn hurt them, So
because we tend to believe that serial killers don't understand empathy,
Yeah.
How could you kill people and not care? I can't get to the bottom of that.
Yeah. Well, some of these guys up here, some of them have committed murder. Many of them are like serial rapists.
It's Bubbles.
A lot of them are, But yeah. And so,
Bubbles lost some weight.
People with autism. Now, we call it the spectrum for a reason, right?
Oh, God, here we go.
Because there is a wide range of, conditions that would.
Do you know that, Bilby? That's what they call it. They call it bronzing. How do you know that, Bilby? Yeah, they seem to think that the guards can't touch them. You can't touch me. I've got poo on me. So this family member said to me, we just after a couple of days, they're begging us for a shower. Had a chin reduction. Yeah, it's Bubbles with a chin reduction and Vaseline on the lens, so it's a little bit fuzzy. Yep.
Qualify someone to be on that spectrum of having Asperger's, which, we also refer to as a functional or a functioning person with autism, to a more extreme autism where it causes that person to not be able to really function in the average world, where they might have to live in a developmental home or whatnot.
That's serious.
After they graduate from school. So there really is a wide range of types of people that have autism to some degree.
So you deal with these criminals and you deal with children, yeah?
Yeah. Right now, I've worked with children, as young as preschool. And when I did work with children in preschool, I did a lot of the screening that's out there. I have a little bunny over here saying hi. Hi, sweetie. I raise bunnies too.
In your house?
They're so cute.
She has rabbits in her house. I saw that on YouTube. There are people who have rabbits hopping around their house. Rabbits are dirty things. When they're locked in solitary with no bedding, nothing to do, all they have, pretty much. Yeah, apparently the idea is that they don't want the guards to touch them, or they don't want anyone to come near them, so they smear themselves in poo. Sounds logical to me. Look of a horse. Yeah, she's a very long face. And I don't think she stopped to take a breath yet. She's Alan's perfect guest.
Bit of a mess in the house.
They're running around. I have a couple
Well,
that run in the house.
Rabbits in the house.
That's another story. A lot of them, I actually raise them to come into the classroom with me, though. But
All right.
because a lot of children with autism really connect with animals. But when
Yep.
I did work with those younger
I haven't heard
students,
that
I did
bit.
a lot of the diagnosing so we could understand if they did have autism or not. Right now, I work with high schoolers
No,
All right.
in my day job.
she couldn't be diagnosing them. That's an educational psychologist. She's not diagnosing.
Yeah.
Is there a set of traits that they all have? Is there something you could put your finger on? A number of
Yeah. There is.
If you thought there was
There's,
money in it, he'd
you
spear
know,
himself
yeah,
with
there
poo.
is a set of traits. A lot of times when
Chicken lady's daughter.
you
No.
know, when you're talking to them,
Be the
a lot
same
of
age
them
as
will
Chicken
not
Lady.
make the normal kind of eye contact that we expect that somebody's going to make when you're
Yeah,
conversing
children
with
and
them.
the criminally
They
insane.
will either,
and does yoga.
kind of like, keep skirting their line of vision away from you, or they just won't look at you altogether, or you'll get a feeling that they're looking past you. Also, many people with autism, they're not going to understand sarcasm or subtle humor, or just, some of the subtleties that we include in conversation when you're joking around.
She's been watching
with
Big
another
Bang
person.
Theory.
Like, for example, I recently had one student, and she was 20. And when you have a higher level of autism,
Yeah,
in my
she's done a
state,
Google
you
search.
can
Yeah.
stay in high school till you're 21.
Hmm.
You can stay in my program till you're 21. So we can make sure we work
Oh,
with them
yeah.
as well as
Good
we
point.
can for as long as we can. But she would say to me all the time, Miss Kelly, I don't know when you're joking. I don't know when you're joking.
That's just being stupid. Lots of people have house rabbits in the UK. How do you stop them pooping all over the house? Can you train them to go in a tray? It's bloody cold out. Oh, yeah, see, I forget that it's cold in other countries because I live in a desert and it's hot all the time. I wouldn't touch him with someone else's hands. Who, Alan? No. Even without feces, I'm not touching him. They ferment their wheeze in a cup. Yeah, I know. Yeah, my relative's been on the receiving end of the wee in the cup. He said he's perfected the art of holding the shield up and then opening the little tray trap in the door because something's bound to come out. It'll either be hands or feces or something. Oh, dear. Oh, why? I just interrupt all the time and say stupid things. You'd get through it a whole lot quicker if you watched it by yourself, really. If Alan thought there was money in smearing himself with poo, he'd do it. I'd rather cover myself in shit to stop touching me. I once heard somebody once told me in a self-defense course that the best way to stop someone from raping you is to open your bowels, girls. There you go. There's some free information for you. They don't get paid enough to work in prisons. Yeah, I tell you what, you've got to have a certain special mindset, and they develop that really dark sense of humor that emergency workers get to. But he's got some great stories. He's fascinating stories.
And she looked so sad about it. And I said to her, honey, listen, here's how you can tell. I said, I would never do anything or say anything to hurt your feelings.
Never.
So if your feelings are hurt, that means I'm joking. And she would tell me back, well, I can't even understand when my dad is joking with me. And she and her dad are very close to one another. And that's just an example of most people with autism who just don't pick up on those subtleties.
It's like I was saying about like when it's raining cats and dogs, they wouldn't understand what I was talking about.
Exactly. That's
That's
a perfect example.
Figure of speeches don't work out.
Now, a teacher would say they don't understand figurative language. They wouldn't have gone into that great big long discussion, which tells me she ain't a teacher. All right? Certainly not a literacy teacher, an English teacher. There are certain men who are sexually aroused by... I know! What's that about? Water sports. Is that a euphemism for wee?
For them, does it?
Exactly. Yes. And I like in my language use figure of speech a lot. I like to use like kind of artful language.
Mm-hmm.
So in my classroom, I've
Yeah,
really had to
ooh.
temper that because, you know, I would just look at the class and I'd be like, my Lord, they don't know what I just said. You know?
No.
So I don't
All
want
looking at you blankly.
right. Yeah.
Which, of course, our subject, Chris Watts, does a lot, right?
He does. Yeah. And that's something that, you know, I was telling Bubbles when I was speaking.
Oh, God, she's talking to Bubbles. Hey, let's do a Google search, right? Indiana. Yoga. Kelly. Yoga by Kelly. Just doing a bit of a Google search here, you know. Joining some dots. People give away a lot of information accidentally. Is she in any of these images? Help me out with this. Is she in any of these images? It's hard to tell. Yoga instructor. Come on. No. Can you hear me? Indiana yoga instructor. Kelly. There's a Kelly Sheldrick who teaches you. This is me stalking. Oh, what about this? Indiana. So she might not be in Indiana anymore. So let's get rid of that. Let's go yoga instructor, Kelly, comma, let's go teacher, comma, autism. New York, you're right. Thank you. Oh, look at us. Gang stalking. New York, this is gang stalking 101. Welcome, everybody. New York, yoga instructor, Kelly. Let's go with that. Upstate New York, wasn't it? Healing with yoga. And she said she worked in a prison with the criminally insane. Private yoga instruction, New York City. Kelly teaches beginner yoga, intermediate yoga. Indiana, yoga teacher. NYC. Kelly Childress. Yoga teacher. Worked at Deutsche Bank. Good God, no. Indiana State University Bachelor of Arts. I reckon given a little bit of time with the links, the little bits of information she's dropped, you could find her very easily. Anyway.
With her earlier that I'm so very glad
something to do
that
tomorrow.
you're covering this topic that, you know, it is likely that Chris Watts had, I believe, if he were to be assessed and evaluated properly, I believe that the finding would be that he had Asperger's. And I think, you know, this is kind of detailed, and obviously I haven't worked with him or assessed him myself.
No,
so this
but
is just
you know a lot of it.
Criminally psychotic.
Yeah, this is just my professional, you know, take on it.
I'll Google that.
Right on that cusp between Asperger's and the more pronounced version of autism. So I'm so glad you're
There can't be too many places in New York where they keep criminally insane people, can there? Hang on. Let's go with New York. Right? We go with criminally insane. What do you reckon? Criminally insane. There's a New York hospital for the criminally insane. Oh. We're just got to ring them surely and say what time are your yoga sessions? Kirby Forensic Psychiatric Center. Kirby Forensic Psychiatric, New York. Kirby Forensic Psychiatric Center keeps coming up. Now we've just got to find out if they do yoga. Hang on. Do you have a yoga program? If I send my child there, can they do yoga? Oh, come on, they've got to have a web page. All good psychiatric hospitals do. And what would the correct attire be? Yeah, straitjacket for sure. No, because if you got into the downward dog, you wouldn't be able to get up again, would you? Manhattan Psychiatric Center offers comprehensive evidence-based inpatient and outpatient treatments for adults with mental. Hang on, where are the criminally insane housed in New York? Yeah, at Kirby. So the Kirby Forensic Psychiatric Center is a maximum security forensic psychiatric center in New York. Right. So if she's going to work with the criminally insane, it's going to be at the Kirby Psychiatric Center. Now, do we have yoga? Outpatient's great. I know. How good is that? Don't forget to take your meds and come back next Wednesday. Okay. I'm reading. Doesn't mention yoga. This is an awful brochure. I'm not going there. Kirby is located on Ward's Islands in Manhattan. It is accessible by car, footbridge, and there's a bus. Randall's Island and Ward's Island are known for their golf, tennis, and 60 athletic fields. So if you're locked up in a psychiatric centre, they're not much help to you. It doesn't mention yoga. Consumers and families, health providers. Will Kelly be a health provider? Could write to them and say, do you have a yoga lady called Kelly? Because she's sharing stories on YouTube. Health managed care, consumer affairs, mental health information and resources, for Justice Centre. No mention of yoga. Hello, Fingal. How are you? We're stalking Kelly. See if we can find any reference to yoga in psychiatric hospitals in New York.
Covering this, on my little channel, with people, I talk about this a lot, that he probably had Asperger's. And until very recently, I took for granted that probably the whole world everyone on Watts Island knows this, right? And it was just very recent that I understood people don't realize this. So for that reason, I'm so glad you're talking about it.
Well, I haven't been able to. I first brought it up about 3 years ago. I was shot down. You know, you can't say that.
Yeah.
We
Well,
don't
you know,
dare.
You
But
didn't
now
say
I think
that.
we can. I think we can now.
yeah,
say that.
I think we can. And, you know, Alan, I think
I love it when he discovers something new, like, you know, Asperger's or, you know, I don't know, yoga or something to do with the case. He always backtracks and says, I was saying this 3 years ago, but now I feel I can bring it up. Yes, Alan.
it's like,
Lie.
I think it is truly key to understanding so many things in this case. Because in my opinion, the fact that Chris Watts does reside somewhere on that spectrum, to me, that's truth. So without acknowledging this truth, we cannot possibly understand the curious ways in which he reacted to things, you know, that lack of emotion that he exhibited all throughout the question and or interrogating or whatever it was that we have video and record of. You can't possibly understand it without acknowledging this. So it's really very important. You hit
But this
something
will help.
very
This will
important.
help. This will help everyone, like
Yeah,
Coda,
I
and
think
that
so.
to understand.
Yeah.
They just can't. They can't. They're like gobsmacked. They don't understand.
Are you listening, CBI? Alan is trying to teach you something. Get your notepads and your pens out and write this down.
I know.
They're so
I
His
stupid.
ways, do they?
They don't. And, you know, just
Yeah, it's
so
always
people
gonna be the
understand,
first.
you know,
Yeah.
how there's so many people. I should have looked up the statistics before I came on here. I'm going to do a
should've.
follow-up to our discussion tonight on my channel tomorrow night. If people have follow-up questions, I'd be happy to
Okay.
answer them.
Come and
Okay.
Based on whatever
subscribe.
we talk about, I'll have some information there for them. I just wasn't able to get it ready all today.
Look at her blink rate.
But
As she was talking about that little bit there, her blink rate went nuts. Live Abuse Free discusses this, very professional, and would disagree with everything being said here. There you go.
there are so many people out there that live with autism and they're not diagnosed, and they end up feeling misunderstood. And that big discrepancy you see in that criminally insane population, where my friend said that maybe only like 2 of them had been diagnosed before
Dave,
they
he's just
committed
a knob.
crimes, is when they're not diagnosed, they're not understood, they don't feel comfortable in their own skin, then there becomes a greater disconnect with them in reality, and they start behaving in truly not socially acceptable ways. They start committing crimes.
Oh my
This
God.
is something that is a pattern of people with autism that aren't diagnosed. There is a pattern of this kind of thing happening. Now, murder, you know, that is obviously to the extreme, but this is not a mystery. You know, it's not a mystery that things went this way.
So she's morphed from special education teacher to yoga instructor and analyst, and diagnosing kids with autism, to being right across the statistics and telling everybody that people who aren't diagnosed with autism are more likely to commit crimes. You know, she's jumping all over the place here.
Way for Chris Watts.
Anything
No,
to be an expert, girl.
But this terming him a monster, he doesn't understand that, does he? Because he just thinks he had a bad day at the office, you know.
That's
all
really
it
good,
is to him. A little episode in one day.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going on about? That was last
Yeah.
week. You know.
it was just another instance in which the world misunderstood him, according to him, you know.
Yeah.
When I was talking to Bubbles earlier, we were, you know, talking about whether, you
Bubbles
know,
is
did
still
Chris
in there.
Watt's family
Oh, and raising
know
rabbits.
that
That's
he
right. Having
was
rabbits hopping
probably
around
on
her
the
house.
autism spectrum, or did they suspect that he was? And, you know, I said to her, no, absolutely not. This is just evidenced in the way that Cindy talks about Chris, right? He was a perfect little boy. He studied, and he was good in athletics, and then he was a good mechanic, or a good, you know, he was a perfect little boy.
Except he used to do this with his hand.
All kinds of parents of students who have autism, and it's exactly that stereotype of the parent, or that archetype of the parent who, when it comes time to diagnosing their child, they refuse to believe it, you know?
Is that because of a stigma? Shouldn't they be
Yeah,
very...
I believe it. I believe that's the case. I know, like with my child, if you know,
Oh, don't tell me you've got a child with
almost
autism.
all students with autism are struggling in the general education track in school. So, you know, usually we learn that there's a problem because there's a behavioral issue that comes up because they're struggling. So they act out. You know, and if it was my son, I would want this, I believe I'd want as much information as I could possibly have to help him. But for some parents, but that's because I know that autism isn't bad. It's just
Yeah.
something
Well,
we need to
everyone's
know
kids
so
are
we can
perfect.
work with it.
Yeah.
But the stigma is so bad. You know, many parents just do not want that label on their child and they will avoid it at all.
One. In 12 years of teaching, I have had one parent who didn't want their child diagnosed. And she's making it sound like heaps of parents don't want their kids diagnosed.
Cost, even if it is going to hurt,
Frog shit.
you know, how their child is doing in school, or how, you know, it's going to hurt their
Yeah.
child ultimately if
Yeah.
they don't accept that they have autism.
Some excel,
Kelly, 'cause
some
when
struggle.
I was at school, dyslexia wasn't heard of. Like, you were just thick.
Yeah,
could
right.
Yes,
spell.
you are just
So I
thick.
think that will change with time. And
I hope so.
More people get it out there, you know.
See him rocking on the chair? That's stimming. He's soothing himself as he rocks.
More programs like this, people think is understand it.
Oh
you
my
know?
God, Alan's
That's right.
on the spectrum.
Yeah, totally.
And I suppose for the parent, it's hard because generally that child will have a really good special talent in one or two directions.
No,
That's right.
they
Yeah,
don't
that's right. And if,
always.
you know, and you know, when we realize a student has autism and they go into like my program, we have like a special set of, you know, of assessments and evaluations and activities we do with a student to determine what those special talents are,
You
so we can
can't
really
do
bring
that.
them out.
No, psychologists do that, not you, Kelly. She is. Mothers do what's best for their children. Yeah, they do. Okay. She said she runs a program, autism program. We're stalking again. You ready? Put your stalking hats on. Autism program, Kelly, New York. If anyone can think of better search terms, let me know. Kelly Autism Program offers educational support through individual education plan assistance. Hello. Classroom adaptations and tutoring. Kelly Moran, this looks promising. All right, let's have a look at it. We got some promising stuff. Kelly Moran could not be found. Right. Kelly Autism Program. She wouldn't name it after herself, surely. The Kelly Autism Program offers educational support through individual education plan assistance. That's what she's qualified in. Classroom adaptations. She mentioned she does that. Community involvement through active participation in community activities. She didn't mention that. CAP offers programs for elementary, middle, and high school. She said she worked for all three. Elementary, develop concepts and skills in academic, social, emotional. Middle school, fostering self-concept and skill growth. High school, students continue growth in self-concept and skills, participation in teen. Kat didn't mention any of that. Western Kentucky University. Well, that's not good. Prime time, the circle of support. Does this only work in Kentucky? Apply, visit. No, it's a university. All right. Let's go to the other one. Stalky. Who's this Kelly Moran? There, I've got a few leads here. Kelly Moran, let's go. Autism. Probably vetted by, oh, absolutely. Yeah. She'll be fair income. Kelly Moran, New York, United States, LinkedIn. That didn't work. Kelly, the autism relationship. She hasn't written a book, has she? She hasn't written a book. No, she'd have said if she'd written a book, wouldn't she? Kelly Moran's resume, special education teachers. Behavioural specialist license. Well, that's what she claims to have. Bachelor of Science in Special. We've got a. It's Kelly Moran. Oh my God, there's her address. Hang on. Whoop. She worked in Illinois. Worked in Illinois up to 2014. Look, these are the things that she says she can do. Conducted a functional behavior assessment on 7th grade student. This is all the stuff that she says she can do. And this person's name is Kelly Moran. Is that her? Oh dear. If that's her, she was way too easy to find. All right. Second step is we confirm this. This is how you find people. This is Granny teaching you stuff, okay? Yeah, I know. Maybe she could put him in touch with an editor. You're funny. Okay, let's go Kelly Moran. Yoga. New York. Yoga for the criminally insane. Kelly Moran. Doctor of Physical Therapy? No. Can't be a doctor of physical therapy. No, that's not her. Oh, let's go back to link. Okay, this is the last thing I'll do. Sorry, I'm stalking. All right, but LinkedIn. I'll stop in a minute. Kelly Moran, LinkedIn. If she's watching this, she's going, oh no. Entertainer. There's Kelly Moran, the entertainer. And a retail manager at Bunnings. No. They're showing me Australian ones. I give up. Okay. It's up to you guys now. All right. So, is this her? Anyone who feels a bit stalky can look her up, okay?
And allow that child to fully express themselves and to be themselves. But it's a very structured set of instruction that we give a student with autism.
Yeah, but they had the surname taken out.
And, Chris Watts, because he was not evaluated or assessed, and it was never acknowledged that he has this condition, he never had that privilege.
Yeah, Vinicum knows too much. He must die.
In my program, it's a shame.
I think he might know, but because he refused.
She keeps saying my program. I'm thinking, where were her qualifications? They put them up, didn't they?
Tonight. Okay, so that's her channel. What's the obsession?
Show us the qualifications.
Also, she is qualified. And I will show you her qualifications now. A lot of people say that when I bring experts on, they're all fake. All fake.
All right. So that's her qualifications. So when she got the qualification, does that say 2021? Does the date on that say 2021? May 8th, 2021. Is that when she got her degree in science education? Like last year? That looks like 2021. Or maybe 2011? What do you think? What do you think, folks? Guys? Kelly will be on Blue Channel live stream again tonight. Oh, we might go and ask her if her surname's Moran. Her surname when she got this was quite short, so Moran would fit in there.
She's not. She is a teacher. There you go, University. Kelly won't do another. She's got a degree, Master of Science of Education.
In education.
The state of India.
Now, what does this one say? I can't read it. Can't read it. State of Indiana Professional Educators License. Yeah, it's a short surname again. Could be. I can't read any of that. It's too blurry. Someone named Kelly. I don't know. Yoga for the criminally insane. No, seriously. That's what she said. She does yoga for the criminally insane. I've been listening. Laughing at a wonderful and accurate commentary. I just talk crap. Seriously, I just talk crap. That's all I do. And when the viewing numbers drop down to 0, I'll stop talking. All right. Let's see.
But I think there's a dual diagnosis in there. Now, do I think that he's a narcissist or a covert narcissist?
Oh my God, she talks for like an hour and a half.
I'm on the fence about this, but I lean towards no, because I don't think he had enough to be a narcissist. You need to have an extreme amount of confidence in yourself. You need to have really, truly a grandiose confidence in yourself. That's part of the diagnostic criteria. He's the
other way, isn't he? He's high.
So now she knows she's an expert on narcissists. What? I think she's just one of those people who pretends she knows everything about everything, actually. They don't do a Bachelor of Education there. You mean Purdue? Yeah, I'm too honest. It gets me into trouble. So yeah, now she's an expert on narcissism.
Hides in the corner, you know.
Yeah, and even in covert narcissists can be very subtle, in that they can look like they hide in the corner, yet they can still have that grandiose opinion of themselves. But I do not see it in him. I think all of these little things that happened along the way that he didn't understand, the joke was on him. Like when Shanann says, I told him to put something about a steak, and I don't know. And he literally put like a steak on the counter, then the wrap over it, rather than putting it in the oven like she meant for him to do.
I showed that last night. You should have watched
I didn't see.
It was pork. It was pork.
Okay.
So she bought a massive pork roast.
Okay.
Chopped it in half. He was supposed to freeze half of it and cook the other. So he put the big bit on top of the small bit and cooked it.
Right.
Which is
exactly.
Typical, isn't it?
That's
what?
Exactly. I was yesterday was my 1 day a week break from YouTube. So I'm sorry.
Granny made me laugh because of how full of shit.
I'm glad that you showed
it. They are
because,
full of
poop. That's exactly it. I don't think he ever got the joke was on him, but it was like a loving joke. I think he had very low self-esteem, and I just don't see covert narcissism. So I think that he had, something else a little more complex in there, as far as like leaning towards the truly criminally insane, combined with the being on the spectrum. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I don't like to jump to conclusions.
Oh, you just did.
But the one thing I feel certain is that Chris Watts absolutely resides on that spectrum.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Look, do you think he keeps telling us, because we spoke to him through his mum many times?
Right. let's find ourselves a checklist for diagnosing autism. Don't try this at home, kids. All right? You'll hurt yourself. Okay. Scholarly articles, we don't think so. Autism signs and characteristics for adults. All right? Here we go. Let's diagnose, shall we? Da, 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 da. Right. There's communication, behavior, and impact. Right. Did Chris have trouble joining in conversations? Nope, not really. Did he speak in a flat, monotone voice? Nope, not really. Did he have trouble relating to other people's thoughts or emotions? We don't know. Did he use repetitive language? Not really. Did he find it hard to read other people's body language? We don't know. Did he find that others don't understand how he's feeling? We don't know. Did he dominate conversations or provide excessive information on specific topics he's interested in? Nope. Did he find it easier to talk at people rather than with them? Not really. Did he have trouble reading social cues? I don't think so. Did he have trouble with small talk? Did he find that difficult? Not that I saw. Did he take things literally? We don't know. We didn't see enough of him. Was he blunt in his assessment of people and things? Not that I saw. Did he find it difficult to maintain eye contact? Not really. He looked that policeman in the eye. Did he have his own, go away little box, did he have his own unique phrases and descriptive words? Not really. Did he have trouble building and maintaining close friendships and relationships? Not really. He was married. Did he make faces that other people found unusual? Not that I saw. And did he make gestures when speaking with people? Nothing out of the ordinary that I saw. Did he enjoy consistent routine? We don't know. Did he find it upsetting when something happens that he didn't expect? We don't know. Did he have trouble regulating his emotional responses? Maybe. I don't know. Was he bothered if his things were moved or rearranged? Not that I saw. Did he have a series of repetitive rituals that he followed on a daily basis? Not that I heard of. Does he make noises in places where he's expected to be quiet? Not really. Did he have a preference for highly specific interests or hobbies? Not really. Did he have difficulty multitasking? I don't think so. He held down a job. He was a mechanic. Did he have a strong reaction to stimuli such as textures, sounds, smells, and taste? Not that I'm aware of. Did he like operating solo? He may have. Impact. Did he excel in a chosen area of study or career? Not really. Did he notice details in an environment that others missed? Not that I just saw. Did he have increased empathy or immense care for people or animals? Nope. And did he enjoy working independently? No, he was working in a team. Well, according to this checklist, he's not. There you go.
Tom.
Kelly,
Yeah.
you're
He
wrong.
says, honestly, I can't remember everything.
Yeah.
Would he have an episode like Rayman, like a full-on
Oh.
episode, if he was witnessing the murder of these two children?
They don't have
I
episodes.
mean, here's the thing about that. I think that, studies have shown time and time again, a traumatic experience such as that, whether you have a mental condition or not, can cause a certain kind of
mental condition. Who refers to autism as a mental condition, Kelly?
Of memory loss. So, you know, the fact that he says that over and over again, I do believe him, but I don't know if that indicates that he committed the murders or that he witnessed the committing of the murders. I mean, I personally absolutely do. I believe he was there. You know, I think that, you know, these ideas people put out there to try to show that he was not there, he was not part of it all, I don't put any stock in them. I've, you know, independently done my own research that shows.
You know, I think Kelly's just another example of somebody with a little bit of knowledge in an area. So she might have done an education degree at some stage. But now she's an expert on everything. You know, she's kind of like a lot of people on YouTube. They take their area of interest or yes, another crank. Yes, Sunray. Taken their area of interest and blown it out of proportion. They think they're a whole lot more worldly and intelligent than they really are. And there's a lot of that on YouTube.
Shows that that is certainly not the case. But yeah,
a couple of points about that, Kelly, when I speak. He said, when I was driving that 45 minutes to the orphan, I was trying to find a way to save my children.
Right.
That you don't need to save them, Chris. You just don't kill them.
Right.
Which implies he was under orders, you know.
I was going to interject what I thought about the case then, and then I remembered I don't talk about the case.
I agree with that. That's actually one of the statements that really stands out to me as being a statement that to me shows evidence that somebody else was involved. That's a perfect example of that language that he uses time and time again. Now, that language that he uses time and time again that implies someone else was involved, that's not something you consciously insert into your, you know, dialogue or diatribe. That's something that is subconscious that comes out in verbal expression.
Yeah, leakage.
Yeah,
can't help himself.
No, guys, that's you using confirmation bias to just pick out the bits that you find convenient to back your theory. Don't start lecturing us on statement analysis when you're just picking out the little bits that suit you. No, doesn't work that way, guys. All right, comments. What's going on? Trust your intuition, Cake. It's amazing how some people are so desperate to label what they don't understand. Yeah. And in the process do misdiagnosis. Yep. With no clue what they're doing. I know. There are so many experts on YouTube. I don't know why we bother with real world experts. We got these guys. And so many lawyers and barristers on YouTube. God. Like Alan, he watched employees on CCTV and became an expert. That's right. Yeah. And you can come on YouTube and say you're anything. Nobody's going to know. She's just as stupid as he is. Yeah. Just a little bit of information and now they're dangerous. She's got crazy eyes. No, they think they know what they're talking about. And now they're just agreeing with each other like crazy.
Absolutely. He can't help himself.
He said a few times too, he was scared. He didn't know what to do. Well,
right.
I don't equate that with murder. When you murder people, you're in a rage or you planned it. You're not scared.
No, I didn't shake
Yeah,
you're scared of people, aren't you? You're scared of other.
We're on the same wavelength here. Because I was just going to say that expression that he keeps telling us of fear is completely incongruent with what he also said about being in this like blind rage. He's never been so rageful before. It was the epitome of rage. Those two things do not go together.
The epitome of rage. That's what he said. Yeah.
Those two human emotions, they're not congruent. They do not exist at the same time. Each of them has like if emotions take up, you know, so much mental energy that you have, those emotions take up all of your mental energy. There's not enough psychological space to feel those.
But that doesn't mean you can only have one emotion and you can't have another one after that, Kelly. It is possible that over the space of several hours, he experienced rage and then another emotion afterwards.
Those two same extreme things at the same time.
A liar and dense. Yeah, I
And
know.
this anger thing.
And
He
dodgy.
never expressed anger until the
No,
very end of his life on the outside, did he?
I think him, saying,
Thank you, Bethany, but I don't know
it was
why.
the epitome of rage. I think that was something that was either planted or, as he might say, implanted in his mind.
Oh, conspiracy
or
theorist.
something that he just,
Ding, ding, ding.
His mind was racing and he was searching for something to explain, this.
Well, who says the epitome of rage when you're describing murdering your family?
Right.
That's what maybe a lawyer would say,
Right.
or not the actual defendant.
So much of the language.
No, somebody who actually has been to school, Alan. When you commit a murder, you pick your nose. That's right. And when you have autism, you do that with your hand. That's how it goes. Gee, I hope you're watching this, Alan. You're an idiot. Gigi's videos soften the horrible blows. Do I make it bearable, do I? It's a nasty job, but someone's got to do it.
Language he uses is contrived, right? Like, it's not his own speech. We've heard this man talk enough between.
I have no inclination where they are.
I had no inkling. Who the hell is inkling?
No.
That's how people talk.
It's like, it's such strange language. And if we were to sit there and go through all of, the interview videos, you could just like mark all of the statements or the words that don't fit. And then if you put them into a pot and then re-examine them later, together they would all be telling you something specific, and that is that in my opinion, his words are not his own. He does not have a lot of confidence. He doesn't feel comfortable in his own skin, and that somebody else was involved.
You're dead right. You're dead right. And he proves it over and over again. I don't understand.
He tells
people
us.
Don't see it. I mean, like, if you follow the
hello, Nuff.
Right.
And the data and what he says.
He tells us time and time again. I think people that see otherwise, I'm always thinking, like, have you really studied this case? And if some of you that are watching don't think that, like, I truly do respect other people's opinions. I truly do. But I guess what I'm saying is, to me, the patterns are so strong. It's hard for me to see it any other way anymore. It just is.
It's almost like it only needed like Tammy to say, was NK there when these murders are going on? And he would just say, yeah.
And why did
you like that?
Why?
It's the Reed technique. Alan, you did a show on it, for God's sake. Can you not remember this? That's how the Reed technique works. You give them a little wedge to open up the opening and then let them run with it, and you'll get the truth. You know this. Come on.
Simple.
Never say that.
I don't know. That's all they say. They interview him for like 10 hours altogether.
I know.
And they never ask him. And he never say to him, did you kill the children?
I know. When you're watching that interview, don't you feel like, don't interrupt him? Like he's about to say something.
Yeah. Oh, especially in Wisconsin.
They know what they're doing.
Then they interrupt him and redirect him. You're like, well, hey, I really wanted to hear what he was going to say there,
And they're professionals. You talk to listen, right? All professionals talk to listen.
These guys have no idea how to do an interview, do they? Really? I mean, if you don't watch the behavior panel, they're for professional body language and behavior experts. Two of them teach interrogation and resistance to interrogation. They know how to interview people, and these guys have no idea compared to the behavior panel.
No, they were not. Well, see, that's something from my perspective. If I was working with somebody with his psychological makeup and I was having to question them because I was evaluating them or assessing them,
pluck
or whatever,
one word out of a whole
doing a
statement.
lot more listening, and we would call it patient-directed questioning. I would allow it to be patient-directed questioning.
No,
I followed what he said.
No, you've got
but
to
they
challenge
did quite the opposite.
them. See,
apparently
these guys, these two YouTubers, one's a yoga teacher and one's an ex-publican, know how to conduct an interview way better than the police. They're They're so convinced that they're right and the police are wrong. It's laughable.
Like business that he never used, because we talked to Cindy, he never said like before.
Right.
So is he liable to pick up these traits from
Yeah,
NK
I
and
think-
use them?
Yeah, I think that he was. I think it's classic. This language of him all of a sudden using like all the time. It's classic mimicry. I think that, going back to your question of did he always have a strong woman in his life? Yes, I think that he really was so lacking confidence in who he was as a person. He, modeled by Cindy, always kind of latched on to, I call it being a parasite, latched on to a strong woman who he could model his personality after. It's classical mimicry, classical mimicry. And he was mimicking the strong woman that he attached himself to and still feels attached to, and that's NK. NK, even if he is, however many miles away, and even if they don't communicate, he is still mimicking her because she is still the strong woman in his life.
If we look at it with Cindy, she's like told him, be afraid of God, go to school, be good, don't mess with girls, might get one pregnant. He did all the things she asked, just overextended it to begging for God's forgiveness every night in the bedroom.
He
thought he'd
That's
done
so
wrong.
weird. Yeah.
So
There's a whole lot of
that
assumption
section.
in there,
And then
Alan.
Shanann took him away, and she took him to be smiley, a good husband, a great father,
Just
do
smile
the
for the
dishes, do the
camera.
cooking. Yeah, and he did everything she wanted, everything, slave almost.
Yeah. Idiots.
Yeah.
But the third one, she taught him anger. That's
She
where I think he
did.
got the anger. She was bipolar. She would shout at him and bawl at him.
Oh, apparently NK is bipolar. Has anyone got confirmation of this? Oh, hang on. Alan's just diagnosed her, hasn't he? He'd know.
And he would learn to shout back.
Oh,
he would
yeah.
learn anger. I think he learned anger, and that's where.
I think that was a really great summary you just gave of how, specifically how he mimicked his personality after these strong women. And, with her being bipolar, I mean, there are so many things. I mean, we all have to talk about NK another time. Like, they both claim that they started dating like sometime in June, towards the end of June. In fact, it's on June 26th that, we have record of in NK's 7-page letter. She says it was that night where he brought over the 2 boxes of condoms that she did all that research on to find out when they were when they were expired.
Date, yeah.
Yeah, so ostensibly that was their first time being together sexually. So that's, I'm sorry, it was June 27th, not the 26th. Don't anybody email me about that.
You'll get it.
The 27th, you know how that is. and then
What's this about boxes of expired condoms? Have they gone into La La Land now? What? Can I skip big chunks of this? Because now they're just kind of, Now they've got a story about Chris turning up at NK's apartment with 2 boxes of expired condoms, and they had to Google the expiry date on them or something. What?
Then it was on 2.5 weeks later, on July 14th, according to both of them, when she's telling Chris Watts that she wants to give him his first son. Like,
now we're just
This is after she's found out that Shanann's pregnant, even though she said in interviews, I did not know she was pregnant. That's why she won't sue me, Kelly.
Yeah.
I would go to court.
Okay.
She can't sue me, you see.
Why?
She can't sue me. Because she lied.
Well, you can.
What? Whoa, hang on. He's very confident about that. Let's see that again.
Yeah, and he did everything she wanted. Everything. Slave almost.
Yeah.
But the third one, she taught him anger. That's where I think he got the anger. She was bipolar. She would shout at him and bawl at him, and he would learn to shout back.
What?
Learn anger. I think he learned anger, and that's where.
I think that was a really great summary you just gave of how, specifically, how he mimicked his personality.
No, went back too far.
Well, that's actually murder. Like, I was trying to explain that if we think of dog, though, in our brain, there's a little compartment with dog where we put cuddly toy, a waggly tail, a bark. All that is dog.
Right.
For him, he hasn't got that, has he?
No,
He's
he
just
doesn't.
got like murder. He's only got one bit for murder. He hasn't got all the bits that we
Yes.
have.
And that's another important thing. I made a note here
What was
mentioning
that?
it. I haven't mentioned it yet. People with autism, oftentimes, now the group of people I work with in the school, not in the criminally insane residential spot, but generally they are diagnosed with autism and they have behavioral problems. Now, it's not that there's anything wrong with the way people behave by virtue of having autism. They behave wrong according to typical social standards because they oftentimes do not understand that the outcome is socially unacceptable,
Right.
or that the consequence is going to be undesirable. They don't have that judgment scale or that foresight. That's also something that makes them very wonderful in a lot of ways. But
Very
as
honest
far
in a
as the
way, I
way they
suppose.
behave, yeah, as far as they behave in normal society or in school, that's like a really bad thing for them.
I'll go
you
on,
know?
Finkel.
If
Have
you
a
would have
go.
witnessed this in a guy and you knew about these things, could you, like you yourself, could you use that to program him to do certain things?
NK programmed
effect,
his
brainwash?
autism.
Yes. I think that's fully possible. I think that's the danger of somebody who's, highly pretty intelligent or highly intelligent and also mentally unstable, like NK was.
That's NK.
I hate to say it, but she was a smart girl. She was intelligent. She's
in America, and she just said on a public platform that NK was smart and mentally unstable. Could she not sue her for this? Why is NK not suing anybody? Come on, sue somebody.
signs of some pretty decent intelligence, but she was clearly very unstable.
Yeah,
and
unstable,
also male intended. So I think that's a very dangerous combination in a person.
When you say male intended, what does that mean?
That she had malicious, had bad intentions.
Oh yeah.
Oh, who's going to shut me down and why? What's going on, Fingal? I have a good idea what you're thinking. I think we're on the same page. Unfortunately, the same lame mentality and approach to Summer's case is the same as how this case has been treated on social media. They don't learn. No, they don't learn. They just keep... Isn't that the definition of stupid? Repeating the same thing and expecting a different outcome? I wish she would sue him. I know. Wouldn't it be great? Nicole, we've got evidence. All right? We've got it all. We've got it all. My dad wears shirts like AD at least. He's dressing his age for once. Yeah. Yep. Don't they seem to know them so well? Oh, these two are just experts in everything. I was replying to if I write what I think. Oh, now I'm just confused. Do I yell what, do I? Definition of stupid. Yep. Repeating the same action over and over, expecting a different outcome. Grab him by the goalies. In Australia, we call that the squirrel grip. Go the squirrel grip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that we
Yeah,
have
she
squirrels.
definitely have mad, yeah. Do you think, is she, in her language, she comes across as she had a plan?
Is she
for
had what?
Chris? She had a plan for Chris for
Yeah.
months before.
What?
Yeah.
Had a use for him in a way.
Yeah. I don't know what that use is. I think that the
Like
evidence
masses.
shows what you're saying is accurate. The search.
Do you see a jealousy for Shanann from her? Do you spot jealousy?
Absolutely, yes. And the way she emphasizes that she was not jealous of Shanann. She was not jealous of the house. In fact, she was disgusted by their house. Why would you be disgusted of their very clean, beautiful home?
Yeah, that's strange, isn't it?
I'm very disgusted that you're raising your children in a very clean, nice home. I'm disgusted by that. That makes
Well, maybe her standards are different to yours, sweetie. Oh, God. Okay, we got buffering. What does that mean? Probably my internet's run out or something. When I wrote they'll shut your channel down, it was in response to my writing what I think of these two idiots. I'd like to see them try. I'd fight them for you, Fingal. Hello, Angie. Angie, baby. Oh, I'm doing an Alan now and singing bits of songs, but at least I sing them in tune and I get the words right. Unlike Alan, who sings the wrong thing. He hasn't done that for a while, actually. I saw that Mary, Don's stepsister, came. Oh, hello, we're talking about summer now. Don's stepsister came out with what Don said to his dad about the septic tank. Oh, no. But I'm not sure how far TBI will take this, if at all. Is there a septic tank on the farm? Oh, my God. Anyway, okay, that's scary. Yeah, so this is buffering. I assume it's my internet. Could be Alan's internet, couldn't it? His internet does this sometimes. Nope, still going round and around. Oh, maybe Alan said I'm not allowed to do this anymore. Oh, this is no fun anymore. Let's watch something else. Look, something shiny. I don't know what that one is. Alan grinning at the news Sherilyn Cadell's grandson was on life support. Hello. Oh, don't be too pleased. We're just sitting here kind of talking poo-poo. He's been on a call from day one like a pit bull. He should just stop he should stop already. Over and over again, he just repeats himself, but it keeps paying. The money keeps coming in. He's just going to keep doing it. You can still hear me. Oh, that's lucky you. Hey. Well, let's go back and have a look.
Serious. Her grandson has a really bad fall. Oh, what a shame.
There's no smile there.
That's real bad. I think he's on life support. Oh no. No.
It is a bit of a grin, isn't it? Ooh, that's a bit of a grin. All right, what else is going on? Armchair Detective. Oh, this is yours, Nuff Nuff. Shall we watch Nuff Nuffs? Do you mind, Nuff Nuff, if we watch this? Is she still here? Talking about autism, listening to these two really tweaks me the wrong way. My son is autistic and he also has a mental illness, and there is a difference, and these idiots don't know. You're right. They're people with a little bit of information who've extrapolated out and think they know heaps and heaps about everything. And, yeah, they do. They make a mockery of... but this is what the internet's done. I personally am not a big fan of the internet. I think it should have been left for something that universities use to communicate with each other and swap data. Back in the early days, that's what it was. Social media's got a lot to answer for. There's no such thing, thanks to social media, there's no such thing as experts anymore. Everybody's an expert in everything. And there's a lot of dumb people out there pretending to be experts on things. All right, back to the summer case. Yes, there's a septic tank on Ben Hill, but there's also an abandoned property at 109. This is like the Watts case on steroids. It's craziness on social media. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. You're obviously watching the same channels as me. Oh, look at you all agreeing with each other. That's so cute. All right, we're going to watch this, all right? Armchair Detective Patreon. Is it value for money? No. Oh, we started watching this before. No. Oh, I don't know. The other thing was buffering. Oh, this is where we started. Remember we were watching this one and then she came up on his feed. and said that she was certified teaching students with autism. Let's go back to this one.
You are a special education teacher and you are satisfied, you're certified in teaching students with autism, because we will.
Hasn't he used this technique before, that someone just happens to be in his chat when he's talking about something and he says, we must get that person on as an expert? Now, he's done that before. Remember once before he was talking about a prison and there just happened to be an ex-prisoner from that very prison in his chat. He's done this before. He sets them up the night before to come on and say, hey, you should talk to me. And then the next night they're on. This is a setup.
Will get said, we will be told that we're making you up, you're not real, and you're lying. I believe you, but we have to prove it.
Is he due to come on tonight?
I get on, they say, is fake. So yeah, if you can supply some stuff.
Yeah, he's done it before.
What's the obsession? We'll get you on next week. This topic is hot because we're right there with the documentary. We're right there with the Rain Man. We're right there with the streaming. I believe we uncovered massive. At last, I think we understand it. And I'm not. That's no reflection on you. What's the obsession? You know what the trolls are like. You probably experienced them.
That's us, apparently.
Show them exactly what you are before we bring you on. And I think maybe what day is it today? Maybe Wednesday night. We're promoting.
What day is it? What a great investigator you are. I don't know what day it is.
And we'll do it properly. I know that you have your own channel. And we will help promote your channel. I know you've had your troubles with other channels.
Oh, he knows a bit about her, so it's set up.
I watch online. I don't get involved in the drama, but I've noticed that you've been in a lot of.
What a shame. What a pity. Never mind.
Probably
Join my
that as
Patreon.
well.
Hurry up.
That's important as well.
You don't need
I think I need
food.
to clear this
Join my
name.
Patreon.
I see a lot of bad things about What's the Obsession, and I don't really believe it. So we're going to get her on. Let's hear her side of the story.
Is she a sex predator as well?
Other creators.
She molests children?
And we'll look into the special needs. It should be a good program.
Yeah. Get some money out of that.
I guess some of you might have seen some of What's the Obsession's videos.
If she's got more subs than you. Does she? I don't know.
Okay. So we're going to arrange that. I'm just going to text Bubbles.
Hang on, I thought Bubbles was taking a rest. Isn't it funny that Bubbles only decided to take a rest and Chicken Lady only got sick, like rats sinking fleeing from a sinking ship, when I reported them to the FTC for fraud for not coming up with the books. Then suddenly everybody gets sick. I don't watch him. He makes me so angry with his lies and conspiracies, as we all do. But I know he makes me angry too. This is the only way I can watch him.
Yeah, so that'll be coming up this Wednesday or Thursday if she can come with us.
Oh, it's all set up already.
We will be going over her trials and tribulations on YouTube.
Yay!
Where she stands today, and also her job, which is dealing with special needs people with autism. I think I'm right. But I'm not an expert. I need an expert to tell me I'm right.
To back me up.
And seeing what she just said there, I think she's going to believe what I say. I think she believes I'm on the right track.
She's going to fiercely agree with me.
I really do.
Yeah.
Say hello, Chicken Lady, of course. That's her day job. Yeah. So we'll be getting Kelly on if she can make it later this week. So we look forward to that, guys. She's a member. Seems a nice lady, but I have seen her. She's been downtrodden lately. I want to get to that. She's been trashed by certain channels, and I want to find out what's going on.
Oh, do I have to start trashing her now?
Take a look at that. But in the meanwhile, take a look at her channel, What's the Obsession, and get to know her. She'll be coming on Wednesday or Thursday. We're going to promote her.
Right.
It's great. That's her day job.
He doesn't do panels, but he'll talk to someone who agrees with him. Hang on, got to check my poker game.
On now to talk about autism before I go to bed.
Oh God, she's an expert in autism now.
Yeah. Trashy channels at fault. Well, we'll look at it. She's been treated unfairly, says Kitty Wee. You know me. I don't watch other people. I don't know. I just what my spanners tell me.
You watch trolls. I'm pretty sure you do. You watching now, Alan?
People email me say this poor Kelly's been treated unfairly, so we'll look into it for her. I'm not doing it from anybody's side. I'm
No.
only interested in
What?
the truth.
Ah, I thought it was
He's
justice.
more than welcome to come on.
I thought you were interested in justice.
Okay, Bubbles is here now. I've only got 10 minutes left. I have to sleep.
That's a nice shirt you're wearing. Do they come in men's?
Hi.
I'm quite excited, man.
I know.
Man,
Looking for this for years.
Yeah.
someone
I
to
think
agree
at
with you.
last, with a collection of luck.
Everyone is
teamwork,
getting along because
and
you're
downright
wonderful and
good
fun,
study,
and so
I think we
everybody
found it.
drawn to you is going to be the same way. You can't be talking to me.
Best research team I've been involved with.
Yeah.
Well, you've clearly got very limited experience in research, Bubbles. Didn't she have paralyzed vocal cords or something a couple of days ago? Wish her lungs would get paralyzed. That'd be great.
Just amazing. Just for about the last 30 minutes, I've been reading up on an article.
Where are the
Of course,
books,
I am not a
Bubbles?
medical physician, and I will not give out medical advice, assessments, or things as such. This is my opinion, and I believe we're going to put this together for a show tomorrow.
What?
That's where it's going to come.
Yeah, it's going to be a
True
big
and
show,
true.
Yeah.
She's reading about autism, has she?
Finding
Right.
communication, finding joining in conversations difficult. They
Yeah.
speak in a flat, monotone voice.
Too much pressure on the vocal cords.
Repetitive language. They have trouble reading social cues.
Yeah.
Um,
Look at him agreeing with it all.
Yeah.
Yep.
hard to find small talk.
I knew all that. Yep.
They make gestures when speaking with
Yes.
people. And that's just in that one little section. I didn't read half of it.
But when
out
you think
loud.
about it, the seven
ju-
on the porch would tell us really. But
The
everybody
funny
just thought he was
gestures
off.
with
They
his
thought
face.
they thought he's displaying guilt. He's not. He's displaying
Should we start a GoFundMe for a chin reduction for Bubbles?
autism.
What did his friends say? That was Chris. He always acts like that.
Exactly. Rain Man. They all worked it out.
An
Rain Man.
odd giggle here and there.
Yeah.
The
Inappropriate
He doesn't care
places.
about justice. No, he
time to
doesn't give a
smile,
toss.
And,
Yeah.
it's just, it's falling into place. And the thing is, they may have not have known. If you've got a 50-50 chance here, his family may know, or they may not know.
I don't think they do.
Hey, this person YouTube monitors, is that male or female? Can you tell from the picture? Hang on, I'll see if I can make it bigger. I can't work out from this picture if that's a male or a female. What do you think? AD, why is it I'm not being notified when your shows are on my friend? Anyone can help, please. Ooh, you're not very educated, are you? Then again, that's what he attracts. He can't function without her. He needs Bubbles. He does. I don't think Bubbles will ever be able to take a rest. The blind leading the blind. In this case, it's the fool leading the fool. Yeah, I reckon she's really got the hots for him, and she just does all this stuff because she's in love with him. He of course would jettison her without a moment's thought. As soon as she stops being useful to him, she's gone. All right, let's keep going.
I don't think they do. I think they're just normal country people. They never looked into these highfalutin things, and they just let, in a country town, they never assessed him. I don't think they did. They just saw him as like, oh, he's got better as years gone by. Well, he would improve slightly, wouldn't he?
Well, according to this, what they do is they learn to adapt in every situation.
Oh, he's very good at adapting.
We all do that.
We've seen that. He's high functioning, isn't he?
But she's doing that. Bubbles is doing the same thing all of these idiots on YouTube do. It's ironic, I'm on YouTube. She's picking the little bits of information out that suit her and saying, oh, this proves my case and this proves my case, ignoring all the bits that don't prove her case.
Yeah.
Just before we go any further, can you just adjust YouTube monitors, please? Because he's a good customer.
He's a customer. He's not a sub. He's a customer. That's telling.
Make sure you need
Alan's
to
probably just woken up. It's
click on
3 o'clock in the
notification bell,
afternoon.
and then you can.
Good morning,
see what it
Alan.
says actually.
Rise and
We all thought it was
shine.
Jupiter's delight. What we're seeing in autism.
When you click
is
on the
amazing discovery.
notification
When
bell,
you
get
shower, Alan,
all,
don't forget to pick your boobs
personalized,
up and clean under
and
them.
none.
Okay.
You have to make sure you click on all. Turn the bell
Yeah, still
completely
here. Yeah.
black.
It's 2 o'clock in the
That's
morning
one
here.
thing that I can tell you. High functioning autism.
It's nothing
yeah.
personal. If you're not getting notifications, it's a problem your end, YouTube.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Basically, YouTube will tell you if you give them the right way to do it. You know.
Yeah, it's
Right.
your fault.
It's
You've
all
done
in
something wrong.
Your notification settings.
Yeah.
We'll help him
Well,
fix
where
it.
was I? I lost my place now. Yeah, this is amazing. I think we've gone through the barrier today.
Yep.
Last few days,
Yep.
that no one's ever been through, and I hope people will understand. We're not doing it for many. We're not putting Chris down. That we're not putting Chris down. We're trying to see what happened.
You're trying to make the facts fit
I'm
your
just-
theory. That's what you're trying to do. Wakes up, goes to the
Um,
toilet, gets out of bed.
We'll have to get some questions answered and do some more research.
What, Alan picking up his man boobs and washing under them?
If it's diagnosed with a brain scan, an MRI, or
What? No,
I mean, we could.
you don't diagnose autism with a brain scan. What are you reading? Diagnosis for dummies.
Well, in my opinion, the only true way to answer a big question is to have him professionally tested one way or the other.
He
Why
will
did
have
they
been
not
when he
test
went
him? Why
into
didn't
the
they?
prison.
Surely a guy that they all say, we don't know why he did this, he flipped.
Oh, puts them
Surely
over
they'd
his
have to
shoulder.
investigate his psyche.
Clean under them. Yeah,
Kelly,
that's what I do.
Do you know offhand how do they can test for that in adults?
Oh yeah, Kelly might know.
Yeah, Kelly, how do they diagnose adults with autism? Do tell.
Briefly, how to, is it something that you can definitely test for? That's what I'm saying. Or is it an opinion of a doctor? Big difference, isn't it?
Well, we did it
Well, to
before.
me, you have to excuse my voice. There's
A
series of evaluations.
assessments, yeah.
assessments.
She's right.
Yeah, I believe we can.
And she
Yeah.
says yes. So, like in Alzheimer's, a brain scan will show you immediately, just like that.
Yeah, but it's not
You're
Alzheimer's. It's
that
different.
Clear. And I was wondering if
No, it won't be that plain. It'll be evaluations, won't it? Yeah.
any type of the autism is affected or to show up on a scan.
No
I want
bubbles.
To know 100%.
No bubbles.
They're saying no scans. The people that know
No
about these things are saying it
bubbles.
doesn't show on a scan, but you know,
No.
it would definitely, if it went to trial, it would have to be.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's the hands. That's how you diagnose it.
Want to go to trial. You don't want everybody to know he's autistic, does he?
No.
He may not know.
He may not even know.
I'm gonna stay on both sides here. He may know and he may not know. We don't know.
We don't know what we don't know, do we? Oh my goodness. They just sit there and speculate and pretend to be experts. It's very sad.
But the curling of the hand like that.
That's
I've
autism,
been
apparently.
looking for that as well. And I am not going to say that it's for his carpal tunnel.
What?
Because I myself have it in both wrist and I can do it. And I've had it for many years and it flares up and comes and goes. Now I don't think he had surgery. So when you rest and he got out of that repetitive motion of the mechanic, he's let it heal a little.
Yeah.
Therefore it didn't bother him.
Yeah.
There's no shame in autism, but
No.
Chris would see that as people thinking badly of him. All he ever thought was, I don't want to think of, if he thought, I'm sure you're right, he didn't know, but
I love it when Alan imagines what people are thinking. You know, what probably happened was this, says Alan. He was thinking this and she was thinking that. And then he said this to her. And his imagination just goes off on this tangent. when in factual fact, he has no idea what people are thinking. I hope not. He did it because he was thinking with the wrong head. That's right. He was using that one that men use more often. Alan, 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 get up and get washed. Alan, Alan. Oh, they come up with some shit. Yes.
He had this big thing about looking good to other people, didn't he? I don't know why, but he did.
So do you, Alan.
He always refused psychiatric tests.
No.
So he makes us.
When he went into prison, he would have had the tests, whether he liked it or not. There's no opting out. Alan's just annoyed because they haven't told him the results.
I probably would suspect that he's been told all his life that he doesn't know social skills. Surely he'd expect, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me, surely.
I don't know.
It says,
A real habit, wriggling my fingers constantly
It
when
seems
I'm
Chicken
nervous.
Lady's here. Chicken Lady's got a comment.
Yeah, you've got autism. Yeah.
When someone she knew was diagnosed, he had to give both neurological and psychological diagnosis. Part of the neurological was
Diagnosis.
so they do take a scan into association. And Chicken Lady knows about this case. Hello, Chicken Lady.
No, they don't.
Just to let you know, she's watching, guys. Say cluck cluck.
cluck, cluck, chicken
I'm
lady.
pleased she's watching. I'm pleased she's watching.
Yeah,
Social
absolutely.
blindness keeps cropping up. Bubbles all again and again. Social blindness.
He is on the spectrum. Yeah.
See, these are sort of things that no one's delved into. They're all too scared to say. We're not on the Armchair Detective. We're not allowed. We're not afraid to say that multi-level marketing is a bad thing. We're not allowed.
Where'd that come from?
I'm sure it is.
Where did the multi-level
We can say
marketing
we
come
think
from?
Chris is autistic if we want, and it's no shame, and it's not a disgrace, and it's something we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't diagnose. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have
Another
dyslexia when he
thing
plays
is
poker,
that
does he?
if he doesn't know it and he's had these small little problems all of his life, that's where I was getting to with how they overcome it.
Alan and Bubbles are dancing up and down the spectrum.
If anybody thought something, y'all may think I'm old time
Tap
here.
dancing up and down the
Anybody
spectrum.
noticed anything, you know, the one person it would have been?
What?
And that would have been his grandmother.
Why?
Grandmothers notice
Yeah, I
and
know.
see everything.
Do those shirts come in
especially
men's?
in a grandchild.
It's covered in
She
dog
went
hair
to the
too, the
wedding,
shirt.
right?
Ugh.
She's the only one, and an uncle.
Oh,
So she was at the wedding, but listen, he was very, very close to her. And as a child, I believe if that's the same grandmother, they lived across the street. So they were there together all the time.
wow.
Okay. So if the first thing that she did was make him repeat things, that's how he learned the presidents and the states and capitals at an early age.
That's how you learn stuff, Bubbles, by repeating it.
She was on top of him fast, training him and repeat. That's why he developed such an impeccable memory and photographic memory.
It's
Grandma
not a photographic memory.
Had started him early.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility that if anybody noticed it, she would have very early and started that.
What?
Because I as an example, my own grandmother told my cousin the third day that my cousin, my second cousin, came home from kindergarten, she said, so and so, that little baby's got a brain tumor.
There you go. Look, people speaking sense, they'll get banned. Elizabeth, yes, he definitely would have a psychological assessment upon admission. Yes, he would have.
Mark my word. And within about
I know. Happy to sit there and analyse other people.
Boy, 5 years old.
A bit of self-analysis wouldn't go astray.
Tumor removed.
Blimey.
Yes, sir. I raised my right hand, and till this day,
Bubbles wouldn't tell a lie.
He is healed, and it was removed and never came back. Thank God for it. But my grandmother knew, just because of little Nobody else knows it.
Experience. No,
Grandmas
Yes,
know.
experience,
Grandmas
very
know.
Yeah. I just want to say to Leza here, he definitely would have had psychological assessment and punishment. Well, we worked with Dr. B, and she
Oh.
was in Wisconsin prison when he arrived. He was never assessed. He refused all assessments.
You cannot refuse the assessments because they put you in a hand lock and say, do it. Alan, it's you can't just go in and refuse. All right. My son works in a prison and they have multiple assessments. So they know exactly where to put them, who to put them with, what's security level, all that kind of thing. Everybody is thoroughly assessed.
In Wisconsin, all they've got on him is his first confession that Shanann killed the kids. There is no assessment.
There
He
is an
refused
assessment.
all treatment.
No.
Just to let you know.
There are
Including
assessments.
Test
Dr.
as
B is
far
full of
as,
shit.
Hate
Hate to break it to you, Alan. Dr. B is full of
It
shit.
was
Yeah,
about
but
shapes and
Now Bubbles has
kinda
got
figured
carpal
out
tunnel
IQ,
syndrome.
It's IQ,
Yeah.
they didn't do it.
intelligence, and
'Cause of the
stuff like that, but
screenshots.
medical
Yeah.
assessment,
No, he refused it.
psychological assessment.
You don't refuse
There's
stuff
no
in
record
prison.
of it.
No. But talking to Chicken Lady, if
Yeah,
you,
exactly. No
if you have
rights
got
inside.
anything
You do as you're
to send to
told.
Bubbles on this, it'd be great. for
Or you
tomorrow's show,
spend
if
all
it's,
your time in your
anything to
cell.
do, all helps. Different kinds of autism.
Yes.
Oh yeah, any
They
different.
probably wouldn't. They might have not have told him it was psychological
Whoa.
assessment. They might have said security assessment or something, but he definitely would have had the assessment.
Yeah, I'm
They
still-
can't
I'm
decide
a
if
little
they're
shocked right now.
CW sympathizers or
speechless.
lovers or haters
My
of.
mind's
Yeah,
going too fast.
flip
I can
flop,
tell
don't
you're
they?
miles
Yeah.
away. You normally do
Thousands
that when
of
you're looking at chat
wasted.
instead of talking to me, but it's not that.
Hang on. The thousands of wasted hours analysing Chris Watts with no qualifications and never will meet him, even if they had the education to diagnose. Exactly. They're just two wannabe, has-been nobodies, basically. Well, three now, if you want to count Kelly. Who, yeah,
No, I'm watching you on the
It's just
screen.
such a
have a YouTube
it's come
channel.
together
Wacko.
basically from yesterday. Just basically me thinking of the word Rain Man.
It would
So then looking
answer.
into Savant and then looking into his behavior and working out the three Chris's. Chris of his mum, Chris of Shanann, Chris of NK, and they're all different. And that's all he's been.
He's convinced that he's just come
You know
across a
what number
brilliant
4 is?
discovery.
And people may hate me. I don't care.
He solved a
But-
closed case with 4 different endings.
The dad, Chris, the dad of 2 girls. He was an
I'm
amazing
still the
dad.
father, yeah. Maybe yeah, still the
He is-
father.
He was at times in his life prior to
God.
me, he appeared to be an amazing dad.
Definitely. No. He idolized his dad as well, don't forget.
He did.
He understood
Through
what a
thick and
father did.
thin.
He learned from his dad what a father is.
His look at it. His father never left. They had troubles. They had, through thick and thin moments.
People do.
But his dad stayed there. Neither one of them come from a broken home.
No.
How did we get here?
And he was a great dad himself.
Conversation
Yeah,
has died. Are we
We're
going to
looking at
end
all
the stream
sides.
now? Nearly.
But that's what people don't understand. How did this great dad become what he became? Well, he changed personality. It's more than just a narcissist. It's way beyond narcissist.
He's not a narcissist.
A narcissist only cares for themselves. He literally did care for his humanity.
Good question, Val. Is this the free dribble or is this the expensive dribble?
And the kids. He did care for his mum. He cared for his dad. He didn't put himself in front of everybody, did he? He would like take the blame for people, if anything.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Which is
He
different.
never
from
put
being a narcissist.
himself first.
How do you know?
I don't think he put himself first. No,
Never.
no. A narcissist does.
Oh, you'd
I
know.
think he's been misdiagnosed all these 3 years because people didn't grasp this shaft of light that I've given the last 2 days. I think people.
I hate to break it to you, Alan, but I was speculating about autism 2 years ago. But of course, I really don't want any credit. I'm pretty sure you're not the first person that's gone down this rabbit hole, matey.
might understand more now.
You should write a book about this, Ellen.
I have been free. I didn't
Yep.
do a whole lot today.
S-
My voice gets worse
Spot
at
on.
the end of the day.
Yeah, your voice is
No.
not good. Maybe I should let you go. You all right? You want to go on or you?
I want to see her with
Yeah, I'll
paralyzed
cut it
vocal
short,
cords.
Since
Yeah,
you wanted
yeah.
to cut it short.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's the obsession? We're going to get Kelly on.
Yeah.
She sent you a master's diploma of applied behavior analysis. So great.
No, that's not what
'Cause
it
you know
said.
what they do, Bubbles, don't they? Oh,
Yeah.
she's not real. She's just making it up.
Yeah, you big faker.
Everybody's a
You faker.
Yep.
But it's lovely to know that Chicken Lady's watching us, isn't it? That's great.
Oh, she's alive. That's good.
I love it when Chicken Lady was watching us. She's been sneaking up in the back a
Has
little
she?
bit during, especially during tonight's show.
Oh, right, good. Well, of course, like
Just
all of
saying,
she knows she's getting withdrawal symptoms like you had. Working
Uh-huh.
away for the last few days.
Yeah, the first.
Oh yeah, no woman could stay away from Alan for very long. They get withdrawal symptoms. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
4 hours. I was like,
He fancies
What do I
himself,
do?
doesn't he? There you go.
Yeah, Chris has been misdiagnosed, but we'll be looking at that.
Yeah.
For Kelly.
It's all right. Alan's
in the next
diagnosed
few
him now.
days, and we'll be making him more.
He's got autism because he
Tomorrow,
did that
we'll
with
be
his
studying this
hand.
tomorrow. I think we've got a breakthrough moment in the case. I hope.
You have no idea
Yeah,
how
I
stupid
started-
you are.
I opened up my program and started making the thumb. And just with the words I typed in to search the graphics, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
there's a lot there.
I'm not
Hmm?
saying we've solved the case anymore, but it's another piece of the puzzle for sure, right?
Receipts is spelt wrong. That tells you something.
Even looking up the different, I typed
Yes,
in
it's still around.
clenched fist.
Yeah. She was
And
typing
it
with
came up
clenched
like
fists.
So many different styles, the way people clench their fist.
Yeah. Honestly, Bubbles, I think we have actually had a breakthrough moment.
No, you
That's
haven't
weird.
had a breakthrough moment.
Because I feel it the same way as the shadows. Nobody died in the house. The woman coming out of the house is another moment that we've achieved. I'm really pleased about it.
Yeah.
Total breakthrough.
Well, like I said, I'm still a little shocked at just where my brain went.
I can tell you.
And I'm
How's the
kinda excited
documentary
as well,
coming?
so
Yeah. Where's my
we
book?
could have a very interesting next several days.
Oh yeah, you could milk this for.
Be interesting to see
About a
what the other
week.
sides think of this. Other YouTubers, you know.
We think you're a knob. Hmm.
It's-
and you're
right,
wrong.
Lazo, it's way beyond narcissism.
Apparently, it on the scale of mental illness, being autistic is worse than being a narcissist, according to Alan. Caravan of fools. I love that saying. Yep. Yes, physician, heal thyself would be some good advice for Alan
It's
right
easy
now.
to call somebody a narcissist, right?
Yeah. Especially when you're looking at one.
But that hand movement, you'd have rather pick that out. It's strange as hell. Well, I thought it was to do with his carpal. I didn't think he could grasp his fist.
Uh-uh.
That's what I always thought. That's what I never thought about.
So
it
this is
was when I
Bubbles'
saw it.
theory
I've
about
seen
the
it.
hand,
There's
is it?
probably 4 or 5 other videos that he does it. I'll pull them
Yeah.
and get the
It was also
screenshots.
interesting with that Elizabeth Lamb, wasn't it?
Now, this is what What's the Obsession said the night before she came on. I will send my master's diploma and applied behavioral analysis certificate too. She didn't send that one. She just sent her master's. Just to be thorough, I know how people are. Oh my God, do I? Well, yes. Yes, Alan's had another breakthrough. He's solved the case yet again. How many times is that now?
You saw her with the strange movements.
Uh-huh.
Exactly the
See,
same
the
thing.
hands.
This is
It's all
amazing.
in the hands.
It's amazing when you see something, you pick up other things, don't you?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Well, I'll let you go,
Okay.
Bubbles. You're tired, I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan's
I'm
sick of
tired
you.
as well.
Piss off, Bubbles.
It's 2:30 a.m. where I am, by the way, just to let you know.
It's 2:30
I
a.m.
won't
here
tell
too.
everybody you napped all day.
No, don't tell them that.
Okay.
You lazy
Right,
sod.
looking forward to tomorrow. Get some
All
sleep
right.
and we'll start again
You
tomorrow.
lazy
Good
man.
night. Bye bye.
Bye.
God.
All right, guys.
Huge breakthrough.
I only intend to do it half an hour. I don't know because I'm like excited. And people say with ADs, I'm interested in money. Do you
Yeah.
see me talking about money tonight? Do you see my excitement?
But you're on YouTube and you're on Patreon. Yes, you're about money.
This has nothing to do with money.
Ah,
It's to do with finding something new.
something.
Never been about
Something.
I need you guys to support me on Patreon, as I couldn't do the work I do. But you see now how important.
It's not work. It's sitting on your ass for a couple of hours in front of a camera, sprouting shit out of your mouth, and then sleeping all day. That is not work.
It is. And you see how important this is to me. It hasn't made me a penny. Why am I excited if it's not made me any money? I'm supposed to be money oriented, right?
Yeah.
No, wrong.
Join Patreon, everybody.
Can't wait till tomorrow. Looking forward to tomorrow's shows. Looking forward to having Kelly on. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Only this channel solves pieces of the puzzle. No
Join
drama.
Patreon, everybody.
Content.
Ooh, snappy ending. Leave them wanting more. Good move, Alan. Still not going to save you in court, but nice try. See you, Nicole. Get up in the daytime, you slob. Yes. Yes, the man is a slob, let's face it. Living off women. Bad man. Beyond insane. Who spends over 3 years trying to solve and crack a solved case? Over and over and over. Yay. Yeah, Alan talked about this a long time ago when I watched his channel. Yeah, it's a big thing. I can't fit it in this little box. What's that? Oh. Don't join his Patreon, lol. He's scamming you. No, don't join his Patreon, anybody. Does the pleb think it's going to make a difference whether CW has autism? Nope. He's still a cold-blooded, evil murderer who chose to slaughter his family rather than get a divorce. That's it, pretty much. Nailed it. All right. Now, one more thing I wanted to do before I go, okay? I think I've bored you long enough. Is I want to have a quick look at my, you know how YouTube suggests based on things you've watched, things that they think you want to go on and watch. I just want to have a look and see what YouTube has recommended for me. It's recommended that I watch True Crime Rocket Science. He's really hammering the old Alec Baldwin thing, isn't he? Dr. John Campbell, if you haven't caught up with Dr. John Campbell, he is an absolute expert in COVID, and he gives daily updates, and he's a real medical expert. So he's really good for information about COVID. Alan's just released 2 hours ago one of those things where he reads the newspaper. Looks at the pictures, basically. Canterbury Cathedral have uploaded their morning prayer. Ivor Problem has released a video 2 hours ago. Ivor, that would have been 12:30. For goodness sake, go to bed. Vic Di Bitetto uploads these really angry man videos. Late Night with Seth Meyers. I think I subscribed to him when I was watching a lot of Donald Trump stuff. Jimmy Rees has uploaded a new video about Australia kicking the tennis player out and deporting him. Ivor's still working on her house. Good on her. People replying to my comments on things. Ivor's had a few today. Adventures with Purpose. They're good guys. I can recommend them. Alan. There you go. That's about it. All right, I'm going to go to bed because it's 2:30 in the morning. And unlike Alan, I haven't been lying on my couch all afternoon. I have actually... look at that, an infinity screen. Oh, my God. Unlike Alan, I haven't been lying on my couch all afternoon. I've been driving for 6 hours, and I don't know what else I did, honestly. I can't remember. Probably a lot of housework. So, yes, I'm with you. Trust your intuition. Rocket Man's becoming every bit as commercial and exploitative as Alan. All right. So let's check some comments before I go. Adventure with Purpose. Yes, they're good guys. But I'm starting to think that maybe they're starting to raise money to pay for their road trips. And I'm starting to feel that they're less sincere about what they do as time. I'm starting to have doubts about their sincerity. I don't know. Autism, right, autism. Oh, please, enough behavioural problems or side effects of the autism. Of course, they're going to have behavioural issues. Absolutely. Largely born out of frustration and not understanding social expectations. Don't start me. Who's saying, oh, shut up, Kelly? Don't tell anyone to shut up. It's not nice. He never got to Patreon because he was so tired after talking. Oh, so that was on YouTube, was it? So the people on Patreon this week, they haven't got many uploads from Alan. Is that right? I don't want to pay for Patreon. I'm not giving him my money. The fact that they are wonderful because they are is the only thing that she ever said that is correct and valid. I don't know what that's about. Truly enjoy. Oh, you couldn't have enjoyed the live. Seriously, I just sit here and whinge. Thank you, Granny. You've made me laugh, and it's always a pleasure to watch your content, and you have lovely subscribers. Yeah, apart from a couple of bots that I had to get rid of, but hey, that's okay. I don't care. I've reached this wonderful stage in life where I really don't care. A lot of stuff just goes right over the top of my head, and the only thing that really makes me angry is Alan. Don't like scammers. Don't like scammers. Sense of humour. My students love me. Some do, some don't. You know, it's like anything in life. Some love you to death and some don't. And usually the ones that don't, it's because you've said no to them at some stage. And no one's ever said no to them. So, you know, you get a bit of, oh, I don't like you. But that's okay. I'm not there to be liked. I'm there to educate them. And usually I answer them if a student comes up to me and says, I don't like you. I answer them with, well, I love you and I'm here to educate you. So let's work together. And that normally floors them. And they don't know what to say. All right. I'm just reading comments to see if there's anything that I have to address before I go. Alan makes us all angry. Yes, he does. It's time. It's overdue. Leave NK alone. Yeah, I know. Leave her alone. I mean, she made a bad decision, for God's sake. She might have been deceived into that bad decision, perhaps. Doesn't mean she's, you know, murdered anybody. The Aussie accent does make you laugh more when telling jokes. Oh, I know. It's a dreadful accent. It sounds better on men. It sounds really... Oh, it sounds sexy on men. On women, it just sounds like really bad English. Gives you Tourette's. I didn't swear, honestly. I did not swear until about 3 years ago when I realised that Alan was a scammer. Probably about 2.5 years ago when I realised he was a scammer. I swear like a trooper now. It's awful. I know. Alan made me swear. Even my kids have said to me, Mum, you just dropped the F-bomb. I just go, no, it's Alan's fault. I must sue him for that. Same there. Yeah, he made you swear, did he? Oh, thank you. It's a great accent, but I don't know. Works on men, doesn't work on women. Just makes us sound ignorant. All right. I'm going to go to bed because it's 20 to 3 in the morning. And I'm going to be a grumpy granny. I really will be a grumpy granny tomorrow. And I've got to go and start getting my classroom ready for the beginning of the school year. So I've got to go and put stuff up on the walls, and make it all pretty. Yeah, big swear words. I know. Yeah, I hear you. All right, I'm going to go nice now. I'm going to put on my gym jams, to quote the goodies. I'm going to put on my gym jams and go nice. Thank you. Thank you. I love the accent, and my son Tyler loves it. Whenever he comments on anyone from Australia, he goes all Aussie on me. Yeah, I believe we're viewed as a bit of an oddity around the world for that. All right, I'm going to say good night. Be good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if your day's just starting, well, enjoy it. Yeah, sleep well, everybody. All right, I'm going to do an Alan while I press the buttons.